Hello, everybody. Before we go much further, tell me how we are looking and sounding. Are y'all hearing an echo? If y'all are, I'm going to need to put my headphones on. And while I'm waiting on those answers to come, because there is a slight delay from YouTube to StreamYard, let me say hello to our special guest, our co-host, MrChalaki. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm well. How y'all doing? How you doing, Ty?
I am doing well. You know how I'm doing because, we have to have our little conversation backstage before we come on. So you
Yeah,
know what it is. Let
working
me
hard.
see. Yes, working hard. Both of us working hard this holiday season. We got to make the Christmas cash. Am I right? Uh,
Amen.
amen. Way you all, she has a YouTube channel that you can check out if you want to learn about clean, chemical-free living for your home. Okay, and MrChalaki, our guest, has his YouTube channel. I have his YouTube channel is in the description box for this live stream. It's generally always in the description box of all of my videos unless I just forget to set up the description box, whether I'm going live or if you see one of my old school scandals, his information is always there. So you can always just look down below and find MrChalaki. And I'm sure if I have a moderator in the house, they will share his channel at some point during this stream. So let's just say a few hellos. We got Emma Crawford in the house. Hey, she was here early. Lady Z was also early in the house, and then Nakaya came right when it was time for us to get started. Hello, Deshaun on the track. How are you doing? Hi, Linda Piles. Linda, we don't get to see you in the members' lives anymore, and you are paying your membership fee, and I feel like you're not getting anything out of it. Come when you get a chance. Fridays at 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sandra Salter, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and get into it. Can I so we have MrChalaki until 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because folks got to get up for work in the morning. I got to feed these dogs. So that sounds like a really good time for me to log off too. But and I'll save this till the end, but I want to say there are two things that I forgot to discuss with you last week,
Okay.
the fashions, which I'll save that till the end.
No, I think we talked about the fashions.
Did we really? Oh, yeah. I just asked you your top three. So we didn't show them. We didn't show everybody.
Right.
So I got a special request to show the ladies so they can see.
Okay.
So I put those pictures. We'll say that if we have time at the end, because we have a lot to get through in part two. So
Child.
as far as the content of the reunion is concerned, that's my first and foremost goal to get through that with you tonight. So again, like we asked last week, first impressions before we get into the singular topics.
Um. Just overall, part two, I felt like it was better than part one. Actually, um, this entire time, at least for these first two parts, they have been able to keep my attention. Um, it was a lot of Candace. Um, I think that they were able to get through all the ladies throughout these first two parts. You know, their own little separate sections. Um, so why is there a need for two more parts? I don't know. I don't know what else they could talk about. But I mean, I guess the husbands always come out, which is sometimes needed, but a lot of times it's not.
Right. Typically a
um,
15-minute segment.
right. And then now we have
Right.
Onika Mirage coming out, Nikki. So
Which
it's
I told
like,
you my opinion on that.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know what else they could talk about. I mean, I guess Wendy and Giselle could go back and forth a little bit more. Um, Other than that, I don't really know what else because everybody kind of um, absorbed that beef between Giselle and Wendy and made it a part of their storyline because not everybody had something going on. Giselle really didn't have much going on. Ashley didn't really have much going on.
Hmm.
Robin never has nothing going on.
Never has
So,
anything going on.
you know, I don't know. It was pretty much my thoughts. I mean, they did. I mean, I don't know if we want to talk about it now, the whole colorism conversation in which
Oh, we're gonna
it's
get there.
okay.
We're gonna get there because I have that's a lot of things that I want to get into about that, and a lot of things that I'm just noticing. So we'll get there. But what I didn't talk to you about last week was Candace. I didn't get into the fact that hi prosperity thick girl. I didn't get into the fact that she said that she cussed out her mother over her mom saying things about Chris and I guess implying or saying that she's still paying for things or that he's not gainfully employed, whatever. And when I heard her say, and she said that she cursed her out like in a way, like in such a really bad way. So it made me kind of feel like this was a different kind of cussing out than she normally does. But maybe this is the only time she's cussed her mother out. But I feel like, and you tell me if you agree or disagree, if we got someone who's cussing out their mother, we probably shouldn't really be expecting her to have much, grace about herself when she's talking to her castmates. Is that a fair assumption?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. But Dorothy is kind of one of those moms that, and sadly, that you kind of have to give it to from time to time. She does a lot. She's done a lot. Um, and I'm sure similar to how when Wendy was talking about her husband and how her husband has no relationship with his family now. And hasn't had one for years. And she was like, "Oh, I have to wipe those tears." He's the one that tells me how upset he is about his family not being in his life. So, similar to the sense of just that, you have to wipe his tears. Chris tells Candace, I'm sure, how her mom has hurt his feelings and all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, as long as they're married, they're family. So, um, I do agree with you though that you know she shouldn't. But I don't see why she should have any grace. for them, to be honest, because it's not like they necessarily have any grace for her. Because she has done some shit, a lot of shit. Candace has been wrong a lot on the show, but just in my opinion, I don't think that Candace is any worse than anybody else. They seem to just forget everybody else's stuff that they have going on. But as far as with Dorothy, I definitely see what you're saying, but I think the cussing out was deserved. Unfortunately, sorry, Mama.
Wow. I don't feel like it was deserved. Just I just feel like there is a level, and now I cuss. My parents know I cuss. I'm a horrible potty mouth sometimes, and I think
Yeah,
that I
I
picked
wouldn't
that
do
up
it.
working in construction. And my mom, like, no, I hope she's not watching right now, but like my mom comes to my members only lives, and I'm just like a sailor. And it's like, oh, all my members are like, hey, Miss Carolyn, that's not me cussing them. And I'm like, I know, like my child's a heathen, but I'm never like to her or to my dad, oh, I couldn't even imagine cussing my parents out, like calling them a name, but that's so. At the same time, I know what you mean as far as her mom needing it. Her mom, doesn't have her back, whatever, whatever, whatever.
I
Um,
wonder. I wonder if
mhm.
she really did though. Like,
If she
did she
really did
really?
cuss her out.
Yeah. It's like because she could just be saying that. Like, she could be cussing her out in the sense of, how Candy used to cuss Mama Joyce out, kinda, but not really. Like, she wouldn't go full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
She would still be easy on her mom when her mom done did some shit. So maybe it
Mm-hmm.
was one of those. I don't think she like called her mom a B word or nothing like that, but I think that it was, and maybe, Candace harbors her own uh feelings towards her mom. Maybe she's pissed off about her mom even, indulging in that whole thing about at her video shoot, talking to everybody and
Is. I'm sure that, I mean, who wouldn't be, right?
right.
Because her mom was willing to talk to whoever would listen
Hmm.
about Chris and his dusty behavior. Hi, is it Micah Essence? She says true, but her mom is manipulative and controlling and was wrong for gossiping about her own child and child's husband to her castmates. But I think that her mom does whatever because Candace depends on her. Yeah, and so to me, I'm with you on that, Micah. I think that the way that her mom continues to behave herself, and show like complete lack of respect for Candace and her marriage, to me, I think that that's like a way of her laying her proverbial dick on the table and saying, well, as long as I'm paying the bills, I don't really care what you think.
Right.
You should have married better. And then I wouldn't have a place to say anything about anything. But as long as I'm paying these bills, you're going to get it. That's how I feel. I don't know, but that's how I feel. Hi, Miss Chocolate Divine. Um, and and in that vein, though, Candace was saying that that Chris's family, her in-laws, she doesn't like how they're looking at her because of what's being said about Chris. My thing is, okay, let's act like Candace's mother never came onto the screen. The way that Candace talks to Chris ought to have them kind of pressed because she's cussing that man out every chance she gets. So, like,
And it's similar to like what was just said, that Candace Candace mom talks to her a certain kind of way because she sees her as a little girl, and she also is paying the bills, regardless of what Candace may think. I do think Miss Dorothy still got some coins in their house that her and Chris stays in. But then on top of that, Candace is taking care of Chris financially, allegedly. So
yeah, that's how it
maybe
looks.
right. So maybe she feels like, hey, I'm taking care of your ass. Da 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 da. Da. Here's my mouth. The same way her mama do her.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I definitely see her as a makeover of her mother. She's her mother's child. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like there was no father involved. Like her mom just got a 3D printer and made another version of herself. When I look at Candace, just from what I see of the both of them. And when you left, I know it was the very end of last week. I think you were already gone. Or were you here when I talked about the tweet from Candace's mom after the reunion aired, after part one aired?
No, I didn't even
Okay,
know she
so
was on Twitter.
yeah, she is. Someone tweeted to her, asking her, basically like, how could you do your daughter like that? What are you doing to get things right with your daughter and your son-in-law? Her response was, he's looking for a job now.
So, well, I
Yeah.
guess she jump started. Bless her heart. Wow. See all that shit. That's why she got cussed out.
Oh, that episode when he said she doesn't pay his bills, then was like, well, her name's not on the checks or something. Yeah, so we talked about that last week, Michael, because remember I was saying words mean something. And what he said was, she doesn't pay any bills with my name on them. That's what he said. And so I just kind of feel like he was very careful about the way that he said that. So maybe his name isn't even on the damn deed. Maybe his name isn't on the house. But mama's still covering something over there.
Hmm.
That's what I feel. But anyway, that was all that. So let's get on to part two. So we pick up with Karen and Giselle telling Candace that she goes too far, that she takes things too far. Um, your thoughts. And so I want to say this before we go. Like I do see sometimes your tweets regarding the show, especially when they're about Candace. So you'll never know that I see them because I'm not going to go in there and say I disagree or I hate that bitch. So I just look and I see, and I don't see you as a Candace stan, but I do
So
think that you sympathize with her, and I want you to bring that energy here because there's a lot of people who feel a lot of different ways about Candace, and I'll even add Wendy in when the colorism conversation comes up, or and I think that it all kind of stems from colorism that, people feel like people are going too hard on Candace versus the other women for engaging in the same type of behavior. And so I want to know your thoughts on Karen and Giselle telling Candace that she takes things too far. Now, before you, I'll also say, y'all know I made it very clear, I don't like Candace, but I can call Candace out when I feel like she's wrong. And when I feel like Candace has a point, I can still say she has a point, but I don't like her. Two things can be true at one time, right? So I want your honest
that's
opinion on these women telling her she goes too far. Hi, Antoinette
that's my thing.
and
It's
Tara.
like, um, hey, that's my thing. It's like, just give credit
And
when it's
Reese.
due. If you don't, like you just said, you just don't care for Candace, fine, but you're able to see right from wrong. When she's right, acknowledge that she's right. That should be with anybody. But a lot of people are unable to see that. And um, I was shocked to see that the arch nemesis, damn Karen and Giselle, probably the biggest beef out of Potomac history, they were able to squash their beef so easily and come together just to go against Candace. Everybody was able to squash their beef. When Mia cussed Giselle and Robin out, they were able to let that go. Now they love Mia. When Robin and Giselle came to Ashley's restaurant to beat her ass, they was able to let that go. Like everybody was able to squash their beef, but Mia would never apologize to Candace, and Giselle would never apologize to Wendy. And in my opinion, they both started it. Now is
Wait, now
everybody?
Mia did apologize to Candace though during the season, didn't she? When they were on the boat.
When?
Mia
Oh,
apologized to
yeah,
Candace.
true, true. They apologize to each other, but if you notice that when Candace was speaking, everybody was rolling their eyes. They wasn't, taking into nothing that she was saying. And I get it. She's a crier, so that's annoying all the time when you see somebody cry all the time. Um, but when Mia was speaking, it's like they were engaged. They were listening to her. She was getting hugs. She was getting sympathy. They both started to cry. But Candace's cries fell on deaf ears, and Mia's cries was like, etc. Um, my whole thing with the whole colorism thing is that I just feel like it's colorism at the root of it. But I'm not gonna act like both Candace and Wendy are likable characters because they're not. And so I think that is a big part of the reason as to why people cannot connect with them when it comes to colorism is because they're not likable characters on the show.
Mhm.
Um, Wendy, how she came on last season, and Candace, how she's always been, but it's colorism in the sense to me as to how everything is Candace's fault. I don't think that everything is Candace's fault. Yes, Candace's mouth is reckless, but so is Ashley. We both talked about how Ashley and Candace are pretty much the same person. But
Mhm.
Ashley's always kind of skate her way through not being the problem, but Candace is still the problem. Even if both Candace and Ashley was to apologize to each other and finally squash the beef, if something else happens, once again, it's going to be Candace's fault. It's like it's an automatic thing of the person. In my opinion, it's always an automatic thing of if it just so happens to be a lighter skinned person and a darker skinned person arguing, it's so easy for all of us, even black people, to go for the darker skinned person that's the one that's the aggressor. It's
Mhm.
just a natural thing because of slavery. Um, it's let's take it to like animals at the being adopted at shelter. It's known fact that white dogs and cats get adopted more than black dogs and cats. Black
Mhm.
cats are seen as bad luck. Halloween, witch's friend, and
Mhm.
all that shit, and all that relates back to black people in a sense. So it's a lot. It's a deep conversation when it comes to the colorism, but
It is.
every everything is just not Candace's fault, and I don't see her mouth is bad, but Karen said that Giselle had an STD, said she was broken heart from college.
Okay. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hi Emma and hi Egypt Nile. How are you doing? So Emma says it is colorism on this show. I'm going to be honest. I don't see colorism when it comes to Candace. Candace using colorism to deflect. Candace loves to deflect. Okay, so we'll get there. Now, I will say that as far as just the conversation of going too far, that Karen and Giselle were having with her at the beginning of this part two, I did feel like they were being hypocritical. Because, like you just mentioned, Karen saying that Giselle has an STD. Again, taking things from the same lying ass blog that just says stuff about all of them. But Giselle felt comfortable to bring it to the show about Wendy's family, so Karen, I guess, felt comfortable to bring it to the show about Giselle. This blog says that you are a broken whore from Hampton. This blog says you have an STD. The blog apparently said that she was on drugs and all kinds of things. And Karen brought it to the show. And I will say,
So,
being completely not a Candace fan, not a Candace fan even, if Candace had been the one who brought that to the show, I do think that the backlash would have been greater. I kind of feel like people just because Karen is the fan favorite. Let's be
right.
clear, and I do feel like her status as the fan favorite lets her get away with things. Now, do I feel that that's an example of Karen being colorist? No, but maybe the audience who watches the show, yeah, maybe so. Maybe they're not able to, assign the same types of negative qualities on the light skinned castmates that they like versus the dark skinned castmates they don't. And so I think that there is definitely a colorism issue with the audience in that regard. I do think that Candace, maybe takes a little bit more heat than the other girls. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Now, there was a lie that did we talk about Candace getting caught in her yo mama lie, which to me that's a stupid read, yo mama, when it came to Mia, because when they started the couples trip, Wendy sat Candace down and let her know like there is a background with her mom, so you
Mm-hmm.
might want to chill on that. And Candace took that, and like Candace came into that house gunning for Mia. Mia walked away from Candace, and Candace was following behind her. Yo mama, Candace throwing lettuce at her, which is stupid, but for somebody who got their little ass dealt with last season, you might think she might chill on anything that even looks like it's physical. And for me, that's where Candace is like, girl, I really need you to stop saying to people, oh, are you going to beat my ass? Like, girl, when the opportunity arose for that to happen, you really weren't with it. You're not a fighter. So stop using, there's nothing wrong with using fighting words, but stop using literally the words that people say before they're going to fight. You're not going to fight, Candace. You're not. So like that is what I don't see other people doing. That's like an instance where I'll say she goes farther than other people, but just in general, all the girls say messed up stuff. But Candace is the only one I see challenging people to fights, knowing damn well she's not going to fight anybody.
I do wish in that particular episode that it would have been a better conversation and Candace would have just said that, hey, you calling my video low budget hurt my feelings. I wish that that was a conversation that would have had. Now, do I think the Mia would have gave a damn? No, because Mia, I think at Giselle's party outside in her driveway, uh she said that she called it because she's a businesswoman. She called it low budget from a business perspective, which is
That
like a cop out. It's
that wasn't
exactly so.
true.
It's
She was saying it to be mean and shady. And I
yeah,
wish if you're gonna say that much, just say, nah, girl, like because she that wasn't constructive criticism from one businesswoman to another. That was, girl,
hmm
this is low budget. Now, in the same breath, I can say it was also true. It was low budget. Mia doesn't have a record company machine behind her to go. I'm sorry, not Mia. Candace doesn't have a record company machine behind her to produce her a $1 million budget video. She doesn't. So was it true? Yes. But is it true that that was also shade when she said it? Yes. You weren't saying that to be kind or to offer constructive criticism. So I do
right.
wish that she would have just said, yeah, girl, it was low budget, and like just like stand in it once you say it, because
And
it's
it's
out
like
there.
I understand you being irritated. You got there. I think she got there first when nobody around. Like I understand that, but girl, did you have to pay for anything? It's like she asked you to do
True.
this as a friend, and you came, to show your support, and so now it's just like you're gonna talk shit about it. It's like if you get somebody free food. I'm sorry, it's not what you wanted, but your ass ain't got to cook tonight. Eat it or throw it away. It's like you don't have to. It's like
I don't like hot dogs.
right. It's like, but it was a hot dog convention. It's like, well, girl, why did you come?
Right. I don't think that any of those cast members should have been showing up to a set expecting to see a Janet Jackson budget video, right?
hmm
It is what it is. So what about, okay, so let's go in and get into some of the instances of the hypocrisy. Because like you said, okay, um, and I was glad actually that Candace brought it up. Robin, we didn't forget that you went to Ashley's restaurant um, at Giselle's insistence to go and get your hands all up in Ashley's face when Ashley was laughing about you and Juan being broke and was, sharing her Google search that she learned with all the castmates. And, Robin took her much larger than Ashley's self ass and got right up in Ashley's face, all with this. And Ashley's, Robin, please get your finger out of my face. No, this is putting my finger in your face, So we didn't forget that. Um, I'm sure that Candace didn't want to bring it up, but I also did not forget the confrontation with Robin and Monique and the umbrella.
Yep.
Robin's been known to get aggressive. And so we can't say that that the ladies haven't gone too far before. That deserved to be called out. I was glad that Candace brought that up. Um, but so for that, all I could say was good call, Candace. I don't like her, but good call.
And they all just brushed it off or laugh and all the ugly stuff that Giselle has done to Karen, making fun of her husband's tax woes and saying that I think it was her or Ash just saying that Ray's dick is dried up and like what the hell did Ray do to
Yeah,
any of
more
y'all?
than I know that Giselle and Ashley have both talked about raised it, and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can't have the my man's off limits or family off limits discussion with you all doing that. And here's where Robin is the ultra hypocrite, laughing about Giselle making the T-shirt about Karen and Ray's tax issues, which were really Ray's business tax issues, not their personal taxes, not
Right.
Karen's issue at all. But so we know that the issue that the news came out the following season about Robin having her own freaking tax problems, which would have meant
Karma.
that at that moment that Ray was going through his business tax issues, Robin was going through her personal tax issues. But here
Hmm.
she is with her green-eyed friend laughing about Karen. Now we won't call that a colorism issue, it's three light-skinned women who are involved, but still, that's a moment of hypocrisy.
Yeah, when they what they was making fun of Candace, not Candace, Karen's home, and they was trying to figure out if she really stayed in that house she stayed in. When Robin dressed up as the pizza boy and dropped the pizza at
Mm-hmm.
her house, and then Karen woke up the next morning and raccoons was eating the damn pizza. She got raccoons everywhere in her yard. So it's like, come on now. It's like
Right.
stop.
And of all the people, I'm sorry, that there's supposed to be all this privilege that comes along with being light and being considered pretty. But Robin and Giselle are the two brokest hoes on that cast. Let's be clear. And for them to be checking up on where anybody lives, Robin lives in a townhouse that looks very similar to where I live. I'm not on anybody's show making any kind of six-figure salary being on a reality show. And Robin, but that's Robin and her entire family with a man, kids. This is me by myself as a regular old bitch who just worked a job for 20 years, right?
No, an
So Robin
extraordinary
doesn't
one.
live. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. But Robin doesn't live much better than most of the castmates who watch your show. And Giselle to be shading anybody on anyone's location of a house. And we see that you're trying to turn your house into a more manor part two, but that is a disaster that you're sitting on over there with your west wing and all these other things. Somebody said that her house looked like a drive-through restaurant with the west wing just being some weird addition. And that is what it was. We don't know what that is. But Karen, even though her house was
Steak and
not
shake.
in Potomac, that was a beautiful home that she was renting or leasing or whatever right outside of Potomac. It's still nicer than any place that either one of you have been in, Giselle or Robin, the whole time we've been watching the show. So what does it matter where it is exactly?
Hmm. It's just so much. It's like for everything, all that meanness, all that nastiness being mean, it is swept under the rug. Oh, but Candace, you said your mama,
Right,
and
I
and
agree. Now, I mhm.
For Mia to constantly talk about money, and she has this business, and she's this, and she's that, she's this, she's that. I'm like, where's your humbleness, man? You come from, with all due respect, you come from a place that's worse than where Ashley come from. And it's like, why are you, she's constantly bringing up money, throwing money. It's almost like she's
Because she's new
overcompensating.
money. That's why, because she's new. I'll tell you, honestly, it reminds me a lot of Monique's first season on the show.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember Monique's first season. Now I understand like why she would be shading Giselle every chance she got, because Giselle was just mad at the girl for saying that she and her husband have 4 homes. She
Right,
asked, you were trying to be shady about her being homeless. Oh no, actually, girl, I have 4 homes. So okay, I didn't have any problem with that. But I don't know if you all recall that whole season, anytime that Monique got to talk about how much something costs, she would do it. And so it just gave me the vibe of, okay, you grew up with nothing. And so
right.
you're just very excited that you have something now. And so you can't stop talking. Because I remember it was just a stupid random scene, and Monique was drinking some champagne or some kind of something. And she was like, girl, not with this $350 bottle of champagne. It's like, who does, like, no one with money runs around with giving you the price tag on everything that they're holding. I think she was even doing about
Right.
some champagne. Who said she had everything? It's like, girl, and that Mia gives me very much that. And I do think that that comes from insecurities, the same way that Wendy was flaunting her degrees. That at the end of the day, she didn't care. Wendy wants to be a hot girl. Wendy didn't want to get no damn education. Wendy wanted to be a hot girl. You can tell looking at Wendy that Wendy was never that bitch. She was never
Right.
that bitch who was getting invited, asked to go on dates in high school. She was never the high school cheerleader. She was never the popular girl. I'm sure that to me it says something about her insecurities that she would pledge, aka just let me just. I'm a Delta, whatever, but
Tell me
we
about the
know what
AKA,
a
'cause I
lot
don't
of
know.
people tend to associate AKAs with being light skinned. And I do think that that's a reflection on
Oh.
Wendy's own insecurities about her own complexion. And so everything about Wendy to me says that I wanted to be a hot girl, but I couldn't be a hot girl. I wasn't a hot girl. So let me come on to this show and flaunt my 4 degrees in these uneducated bitches' faces. I'm going to tell them about it every chance I get. When the reality is, even Karen, who had no degree, was living as well or better than you. So it didn't really matter. It's a bunch of insecurity on this show.
Hmm. Yeah, but Wendy, I'm sure, had to adopt. I mean, she should know better now, and she definitely should, know better being
Pam,
who she is. But because of society and because lighter skinned people are praised and white is the ultimate, is still the standard of beauty. I'm sure she felt like it's like you have to adapt. Being a black person, you have to adapt to everybody. When really everybody, you know, I'm not gonna get all into shit, but you know, what I'm trying to say, type.
I told you that this conversation deserves a whole nother live stream separate from talking about the reunion, because there's a lot of layers to this stuff. So Wendy,
Her
um
profile picture is bomb.
Antoinette,
Yes,
yeah,
I love
she's
it.
beautiful. She has her, by the way, she has her own YouTube channel as well. I just went to one of her premieres showing how to do a natural makeup look. The woman knows her stuff. That is our Jamaican gal, and she knows
Oh,
her makeup. We love Antoinette Bailey around these parts. So yes, y'all can
yeah.
check out Antoinette Bailey. Good, yeah, good call. Yeah, beautiful, stunning young woman.
Mm.
So we get then Andy asking, "Hey, you're kind of on Team Candace, Wendy. What do you think about what all the girls are saying?" And Wendy says that she thinks that the problem that the girls are having with Candace's mouth is that Candace sticks her landing. All of a sudden, Candace is Mary Lou Retton. Candace is Dominique Dawes. Candace is whatever. Yeah. She's sticking her landing. She's running.
She's a
She's
gymnast.
going up to the vault. She's doing a somersault and sticking her landing. What do you think about that? 10.
So you
There you
do.
go. There you go.
I always wanted to do that. But I guess. I mean, Wendy was. I was kind of. Wendy didn't get on my nerves as bad as she did the
Sarah.
first part. What?
She said Wendy had no choice but to get in the bus because no one was bothering her. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Right, Lord. Then she had that mama, and that mama wasn't gonna let her not have all those degrees. So
Okay.
shoot. I gonna say. Wendy kind of bothered me part one because she was just getting on my nerves with all the talking and jumping into everybody's conversation. Part two, she
Hmm.
didn't bother me as much because they were asking her questions and it was time for her little segment to start. But I didn't really have a problem with it because everybody had a friend. Robin, no matter what Giselle does, she's gonna have her back. And everybody seemed to be making amends and shaking hands and giving hugs. So why can't Candace have a little friend on the side? Because everybody
No,
seemed to be
look,
working together.
clearly the girls are all clicked up. There are always alliances. There are no friends. There are always alliances on these shows, right? I will say I didn't agree with Wendy, and see, and I don't agree with Candace when she says, and this is I commented this on the Color Me Pink channel on her review that she did for part two because I thought about it, and Candace, I know she likes to say that she's just better with words than other people. She's a wordsmith, and so if you can't keep up with my mouth, then that's on you. Blah blah. The fact of the matter is, Candace says these things as though she's a really clever girl. She's just really smart. And oh man, I can't string words together like Candace. Candace is just mean. Her reads are not clever. They are not smart. She literally says the things that 9-year-olds would say if they were arguing with someone who was getting the better of them. What has she said about me all season? Big feet, big feet jokes. You got big feet and you're a prostitute. Your man is your pimp.
Right.
Okay. And then she gets mad at Ashley. You brought your wide body ass. Okay. And this isn't even a commentary on body shaming. It's literally taking the easiest blow, the easiest low blow you can find. Okay. Um, oh, this girl, she's much bigger than she used to be because she just had a baby. I'm gonna call her fat. Like that's what a kid would do. Like you're calling, like Ashley's not fat. Ashley's fatter than she used to be because she just had a child. But okay, what else do we get from her? I mean, like everything is simple. Nothing that Candace says is anything that someone else couldn't think of. Like, oh
Yeah.
wow, fat. Ashley's fat. Oh, that's a good one. How'd you come up with that, girl? Because she's gained weight. Like that's not, girl, you're not clever. And so this whole notion that she's sticking the landing is like, no, you're just stating the obvious and you're doing it in a mean way. You're not clever. You're mean. You're just mean and nasty. Like there's nothing
It,
that like, oh man, how'd she come up with that? Damn, that Candace, she must have 4 degrees. Like, like no one's thinking.
right. It's just it's petty. It's childish.
Oh,
And
and I'm sorry, and your mama, right? Like,
right,
because God knows, like, what was I, in third grade, the last time I told someone that honestly, seriously, well, you're ugly.
right.
Your mama's ugly. Okay, no one else says that except for Dr. Heavenly and Candace, and so now we're gonna act like that's clever. No, it's not.
Yes.
It's
Oh
just
no.
not true. I mean, have someone to have your back, but that's not true. Let's be real.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. It is childish. It is petty. But I mean, if she just kind of says that, hey, I don't appreciate that comment that you gave. I don't. I don't think it's like if she just completely just every time that she feels disrespected in this group, or she feels or her feelings are hurt in this group, if she brings it up to them and she says it, I don't think all they're gonna say is get over it. You acting like a baby. like get some balls, but it's like if she comes back at them at something, it's like it's a no-win situation. It's like I don't know. It's like
No,
what would
I don't have a problem with her saying anything. They all say things. I just think that it's time to be realistic and like Candace, this ain't clever, babe. I know you think it is, but it's really not.
hmm
Like,
right.
say whatever, because they all say stuff. I mean, let she who has a mouth let her speak. I'm sure that's in the Bible somewhere. It feels like it.
Yeah,
But like no, like these things they're just not that clever. That's my only issue because we're pretending like these things are clever. Oh, Candace, she
true.
knows how to read the girls down. She reads the girls down the way that third graders do. But okay, y'all, sure, she's really clever. The girls just can't keep up. Like, girl, you're not that clever. Okay, so Micah, that was my thing. She didn't know about Mia's mom the first time she said it, but unless there was some really clever editing, she knew after that. And so, and now again, you can't tell someone if they're arguing how far to go. You can't do that. I get that, but I don't like the fact that she's acting like she didn't know at some point that she said that. Like by the time that she said it the second time, she did know. If y'all recall, when they first got to the couples trip that Wendy planned, that the first thing that they did was sat her down and talked to her, and Candace wasn't
Oh,
understanding why. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Actually, I think she found out after that because I remember being when they were sitting on that bed. It was Wendy, Solid, Candace, and Mia had came in. She was in there with the dudes, and then she came in, and Wendy had started to talk to Candace about her mom thing, and then Candace and Mia just started going back and forth and throwing insults. Now I will say that Candace was rude, sitting on that bed, and they were trying to have a conversation, but see, they messed up because they were trying to have a adult, mature conversation while drinking. That's where they messed up at, because you ain't gonna get nothing when you drunk, except for fuck you, and fuck you. So that's where they messed up at. I don't think she
Yeah.
fully got the opportunity to say, hey, that Mia's mom was on drugs. I think after everything, after she had left Chris's lab, because Chris, pulled outside to talk to her, and, they had that whole conversation. I think that's when they said it. But, while you're drunk and while emotions are high, your feelings are hurt, her feelings are hurt, you ain't gonna care in that moment. It's not right, but you're not going to care. Now after all that, her saying your mama, that was, that's what was what it was for sure.
Yeah, because once she found out, she kept saying it. So the fact that she's sitting up saying, "Well, if I had known about her mom, I wouldn't." Like, girl, yes, you would, and you did, and you are. So, like, just, I mean, if you're gonna say it, just say it and continue your "I don't care" stance. But stop trying to act like, "Oh, I'd have had compassion if I'd known." No, you wouldn't have. That's all that you have in your arsenal. Yo, mama, your feet. You a hoe. That's it. That's the extent of your arsenal. You would have said it because you don't have anything else to say. That's all. Like, and again, I don't fault her for saying it. All these girls say foul things, but I don't like them. I don't like them going back and rewriting history as to why they did what they did. Don't do that. Just go on and stand in it. Um. Now to that point, are we getting some foreshadowing for season 7? Because everybody's expressing how much they're tired of her mouth, and Karen says, "Well, we might just mute you, Candace. We
Now
might
see,
have
that bothered
you might
me.
not have to consider editing yourself because we might just mute you." Is she the next one on the list for getting iced out?
And see, that bothers me because I know for a fact that
Really,
if Candace leaves the show, hey, that if Candace leaves the show, they all coming at Wendy extra hard. I already know that because they coming at she okay, Wendy is just not getting it as bad as Candace because she is smarter than Candace. Yeah, she's quick. This is what she does. She battles back people back and forth. This is her job. And so I think that Wendy is going to move differently in this cast, but it just seems like a pattern here. And Karen saying that, I'm like, okay, so what you did last season when you went and talked to the HR, whatever, about Candace trying to get her fired, then you knew what you was doing. You was trying to get rid of her then. And this season, you're saying that. So it's like, so next season is all y'all gonna be against Candace. I just didn't like that. I didn't like regardless of anybody's feelings, like you're trying to get me fired from my job. It's like, well, what exactly do they want on the show? That's what I want to ask because Giselle made a comment last season that Karen said that Wendy don't fit the look of the show. Now, what is the look of the show?
The aesthetic of the show. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. She didn't say that about Candace. So, and I'll say, Candace, she had something about her face is like mousy, rodent like or whatever, but I don't think that she's not cute. She's a weird cute. Everybody has their quirky things about us. And I did think that for the most part, the ladies were pretty. Wendy's had some work done, and I feel like she's done something to her face, or else she started doing some makeup very differently or something. I kind of felt like that was Karen's way of saying that Wendy wasn't cute enough to be on the show. I don't know that it was a color thing because Karen was very close to Candace and Monique. So if that's what she meant, or was it the degree thing, But if she's saying aesthetic, then I have to take that to mean something about the physical. And I don't know that she meant dark. I don't know. It could be. I don't see Karen as one of the problematic colorist light skinned women on the show. And I kind of felt
Or
like for
maybe
me,
she's sneaky
that had
with it.
something more to do with her daughter being dark skinned. So that
Hmm.
and maybe that was why she even felt gravitated the way that she did toward Candace and Monique and kind of as mother figures for them. Because she didn't see it for Ashley the way that she immediately kind of took to Candace and Monique. And so I don't know that that's what it is. I can see that that's what it looks like. Was she saying that Wendy was too dark? I don't know. I could kind of see it as her saying that Wendy wasn't that cute. And honestly, I didn't think that Wendy was nothing to look at. Last season especially.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just
The
very
Jermaine Jackson hairline and the shades of makeup that were far too light. Wendy's face was 10 shades lighter than her hands. So
right.
I kind of took it more. I took it more as that, but I could be. But I'm glad that we're having the conversation because here's the thing that I mentioned to some friends earlier today. I watch a lot of people who review this show,
Hmm.
and and what I have noticed, um, I watch one person who is not black, and I shared his channel with y'all. I am Raphael. He has really funny reviews.
Oh, I love him.
Um, Okay, yeah. So he's really animated in his reviews, and he saw the colorism that a lot of people were saying that they were seeing. Um, and I see, so I do see colorism within this cast. I definitely see colorism from the audience of the cast. However, every single thing that Wendy and Candace have called out as colorism, I don't see it as colorism. But I'll say this: people who I consider myself medium brown. Depending on the lighting, some people will say I look light. I'm not light skinned. I'm medium, like right in the middle of whatever, from the lightest light to the darkest dark. I'm right in the middle. And what I've noticed is in watching reviews, people who are roughly my skin tone, they kind of feel the way that I feel. Like, oh yeah, that is, but that isn't. That is, that isn't. And what I've noticed is that the darker that I go down the color spectrum, more people tend to agree with almost everything that Candace and Wendy call out. And the lighter that I get away from my color, they tend to not agree with what Candace and and Wendy are saying, and even kind of like even lean towards Ashley, who feels that there isn't any colorism between the cats. And so I love having the conversation because depending on your skin tone, you deal with a degree of colorism, and the degrees just go as deep as our skin tones go. So I deal with colorism, but I also benefit from colorism because I'm not as dark as the next person. And so we have to realize that our perceptions of what may be or seem colorist, they're not all going to be the same based on our own personal experiences. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's why I can only say, I didn't think that this was colored, but I can't tell. I'm not going to tell someone who's darker than me that they're wrong about what they deem colorism to be. I can say that I disagree, and there are some things that I'm going to point out in this, discussion that we're having that I did disagree with, especially coming from Candace. But yeah, it's just an observation I've noticed. I watch a lot of people review this show, and the people who look like me, they almost all of them share exactly my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
It's
that
pretty
something?
interesting. That's something how you just broke that all the way down. And yes, the lighter that you go, you would not sometimes I feel like if you're a person of color, especially a black person, whether you're real light or in the middle dark, you're gonna deal with some kind of shit. Just period. Um, but it is something to be said about that color scale. People who are lighter skin or biracial or etc. They are probably not going to understand colorism because they've never dealt with it in their own personal life. Um, because whether they want to admit it or not, it's a benefit. They do benefit from it. As a white person would be safer with you than they would be with me or somebody darker than me. It's especially if you're so light that you can pass for white. So it's like, it's a very interesting conversation, and it's not a lot of it's not a lot that, what am I trying to say? It's not a conversation that we have enough as black people. But the core of all that shit comes from slavery, with separating us and the paper bag test and all that
But
craziness. Uh,
that dates back, that predates slavery actually.
mhm.
Before a white person ever set foot on the continent, there were issues going on with our skin tone, and in other places before white people colonized them. There always been issues with colorism and the proximity to whiteness being placed on a pedestal. Some of it does, definitely, like I can't deny that some of it does stem from slavery, but some of it happened long before then. And so, and even if you, wow, this is okay. This is much deeper. We promise me that you'll come back and that we'll
Okay.
have a discussion. We can base it off of the show, but there are so many places to go with this discussion
Oh yeah.
outside of the show. And I want to get through this, but I want to have the conversation because I think that these types of conversations are long overdue. Um, and I always knew that colorism existed, but there wasn't a word for it when I was growing up. I remember I used to ask my parents, like, why do black people treat black people, this way? Or, and I used to get teased, really. So my only all black experiences were my family and the church that we went to. And so
Hmm.
I would, when I left the Methodist church and we went to the bigger Baptist church, when I got a little bit older, I would get teased, and people perceived me as light and would say weird things, or, she talks white, that kind of stuff. And I just felt like I felt so horrible because I'm like, these are black people talking to me like this. Like my white friends don't talk to me like this. And then I noticed, like, when I got older, we go out with our friends, a group of us, group of girls, full range of skin tones. And it was hard, to not notice that the lighter skinned girls would get a lot more guys after them than the darker girls would. I felt somewhere in the middle, of just based on just the initial look, right? And I know that some of my light skinned friends were very pretty. Some of them really were not. But you stand them next to a dark skinned girl who's pretty, a lot of the guys were just going straight to the light skinned girl because she light. And that was
Mm-hmm.
automatically she cute. So there were things that I always noticed, but I never had the word to say what it was. And so now
Right.
that we have a word, we can have a conversation. So yeah, it's interesting. But let's move on with these
Okay.
personalities, and we'll come back and we'll have this conversation. I think um maybe once you get past the rush at work, maybe like one Saturday afternoon, like a brunchish time, like a Saturday or Sunday. I think this would be a chill conversation to have. But we need a panel. We need all tones, skin tones represented, and just kind of throw some things out there because I think that it's a conversation worth having. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Okay, so Karen telling Candace that we might tune you out. I do see that as foreshadowing. I'll be interested to see how the next season goes for her. But with that being said, I'm also going to say this: Wendy and Candace are stupid because they participated in the icing out of Monique last season and they thought that it wouldn't
I
happen to
agree.
them.
Yep,
So,
I agree.
as much as I can listen to Wendy call out colorism and I can listen to Candace call out colorism, um, I'm going to say these two stuck right alongside the women who are deemed by anybody who even sees a little bit of colorism on the cast as the most colorist on the cast. They teamed up with Giselle and Robin to ice out another brown skinned woman. And they thought that what did you think? That once Monique was gone, that all of y'all were just going to pretend to all be light skinned and have fun together? No. You created a target on your back by icing this girl out. I wish that they would have all been able to click up themselves and just have their brown skin thing going on within the group. But no, you participated in icing out someone else, and now those same green-eyed bandits who Wendy you came in running behind, and Wendy was running behind them and kissing their asses. You came in behind running their asses,
Monique
and
was too,
now
though.
look, all of them did, and that's why I say
Mm-hmm.
I would. So if I could have had last season go exactly the way that I wanted it to go, um, it would have been Candace and Monique going against Giselle. That's what needed to happen because
Yep.
Giselle was the one running back incorrect messages, and they were both. Even though Monique had made it clear, and Giselle's made it clear from day one that she doesn't see it for Monique, but Monique wanted their acceptance. These dark skinned girls keep coming onto this cast wanting the acceptance of Robin and Giselle, the two bottom bitches on the show, the two brokest hoes on the show. The dark skinned girls keep coming onto this show wanting their acceptance. What does that say to you about the color, the power of light skin and the privilege that resides in it and the value that Black people place on it?
Yep. Plus, they've been on the show since the very beginning. So it's like, their stance is pretty much solidified. They're probably not going anywhere, even though it's clear that Robin should go. If they can let go of Cynthia on Real Housewives of Atlanta, why the hell they can't let go of Robin on Real
It's the
Housewives of
same
Potomac?
thing. She's the
Yeah,
same. At least Cynthia
but
has had two weddings, though. Robin hasn't had
yeah,
the one to her freaking ex-husband. But
right. And they say Juan, allegedly Juan is still out there cheating. So, hey, I don't know.
are he and Michael at the reunion this year?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't see Michael
Because
and I didn't see Juan.
yeah, just like last year.
It's crazy. They shouldn't have nothing to say about nobody. It's amazing. Like well, that's why they when Wendy said that you don't have a relationship to stand on, that's why they hurt her so bad. It's true.
Because it's true. Exactly. Yeah, that is true. Robin can get mad all she want to and not invite people to her wedding all she want to. Robin, you're not invited to that wedding. That's not any kind of insult to tell me that I'm not invited to your wedding. That's not going to happen. Girl,
Right.
bye.
Thank you.
So okay, Mia, she gets called out on her tweets. Like I said last week, they couldn't have teamed her up with a better person to bring her on the show than Karen, because Karen is one of those people who will lie about stupid things. She'll tell the truth
Hmm.
about the hard things, but she lies about dumb things. That's Mia. She told all of that information about her horrible situation growing up, but she's on here lying about tweeting about a bitch she doesn't even like. Oh, that was my social media manager, a friend of mine for 20 years, and she thinks just like I do. So she's the one. Like, okay, what do you think about me getting called out about these tweets?
A mess. I don't think she was ready. I don't think she was prepared. A scholar had printed out some papers. It was a time for a scholar to speak, and she printed out her little papers, and I don't think she was prepared for all the backlash. You know, like I was saying earlier, how I wish Candace would just voice that her feelings was hurt by whatever. I wish that Mia would do the same, but Mia, kind of similar to Candace, she took to Twitter and started going and da. And her saying that all the men want to, eat her out and all that stuff. And I'm just like, Mia. But
Mm.
Andy quickly took up for Mia. Oh, this is her first season. Leave her alone. I've seen it before. Da. I'm like, okay, Andy, I see what you're doing. Andy
But
didn't make
didn't
no
he
secrets
take
about
up
who
for
he liked.
Candace the same way? He took up for Candace the same way.
When?
I could have sworn, didn't he basically okay, I'll say last season. I didn't feel like he really held Candace's feet to the fire as far as taking accountability for
Mm,
her part in, for sure, the thing with her and Monique, but I do remember him calling her a disaster on Twitter, but he didn't really go in. And then as far as her homophobic tweets, I mean, he mentioned that
mm,
they were out there, but he didn't really go in. I kind of felt like he handled them similarly. He called her out and enough so that girl, we all see, you know.
mm.
And then it was kind of just up to the ladies to be like, girl, and again, it was mainly just Candace and Wendy, the ones calling her out. So it would have been nice to see, okay, this would have been a chance for the light skinned women to stand up and say, hey, Mia, girl, stop lying. No, because, I mean, Robin was able to call it out when she felt like Monique had her people saying things about her on social media. So why not,
Mm-hmm.
Robin, call out Mia now? Here is the same
Right.
situation,
It'll
exact
just
same
be
situation.
right. That's true. That's true. And I don't know. This show it'd just be interesting to see. Let's say that Candace did not return. And let's say that Wendy did not return. What would happen then to this show? Like who would they
I
cast?
think that the target would become Karen, and I'll tell you why. Um, what I've noticed about Giselle is that, well, and it's going to be spearheaded by Giselle, whoever the next target would be. And
Always.
what I've noticed about Giselle is that she tends to come for people who are in what appears to be stable marriages. Um, so hence the rumor about Chris and Monique Samuels and the son not being theirs. Hence, in my opinion, the reason that she went in so hard on Karen when Ray had his tax issues. Um, I've not seen her really come for Candace's relationship. I've seen her say things about Michael Darby, but nothing more than what is obvious, and the rest of us are going to say. She realizes that those are not marriages that anybody wants to be a part of. Even Giselle, as badly as she does want a man, and I do think she does, she don't want to be a part of none of that. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a man with Michael's money, but she don't want to put up with no creepy man who looks like that, climbing up on top of her, going in and out of whomever else he pleases, and getting caught up in a cheating season. So she doesn't want that. Chris Bassett, we've heard about the brown dick that Candace says is pleasurable or whatever. She gave some kind of we have a good time or whatever. Not only that, we don't know where this man works. We don't know what he does. We know that he has baby mamas and children and child support to pay, and that at a glance he looks a bit like a deadbeat. And it seems like her mother is having to take care of them. So this is nothing that she wants to be a part of either. And so again, the natural target, if we're just going based off of colorism, would either be Wendy or Candace. But like you said, with them gone, she's going to come after the person who appears to have the stable relationship. That's Karen.
Mm-hmm. And who she is? It's almost, and it's also like who she. Okay, who next? I have an issue with. Candace and Wendy
Mm-hmm.
is gone, so it's like, okay, so who's next? Who I've had the most issues with? Karen. And it's just like, she's gonna fall out with everybody. If it was to go like that, she would fall out with everybody except for Robin.
And I mean, if Juan ever starts pretending that he actually cares about Robin, Giselle's gonna have a problem with that. Giselle likes to go up for Juan and Robin because she knows that that's a dysfunctional thing that's just as fucked up as anything that she's had going on since this show came. So she's gonna go up for that relationship.
True T. That's true.
That
Hmm.
is the classic example of misery loves company. Hey Woodswall,
But did
how
you
are you doing?
see? Did you see how Karen and Giselle had that emotional moment because she, hugged her daughters and she got emotional, and I'm like, they kind of, for some
Mm-hmm.
reason in my, maybe it's just my crazy. Mind.
Wait, volume went out. I didn't hear you. Say that again. Maybe it's just in your crazy mind and what? I'm not hearing you. Are y'all hearing me or MrChalaki? Because I don't hear MrChalaki anymore. Hello, hello. Can y'all hear us? Okay, can you hear me, Tara, or can you not hear either one of us? Can you? We hear you, not MrChalaki. Okay, we can't hear you, MrChalaki. You want to sign out and come back in, or okay, okay, okay. So let MrChalaki. Okay, Nisa says she can hear. You can hear me. Okay. Okay, we're gonna let him get it together. Hey, Nisi. Just realized you came in. Um, so yeah, are you trying to? I can't hear anything. Let me see. Let me see if I remove you and bring you back if that helps. I don't know. Say something. I don't hear anything. So they're hearing me. We can hear Ty. We can't hear Mr. Chalaki. Yeah, I can hear. Can't hear him. We lost sound. Okay, we'll get him to come back. So, okay, y'all. Wendy getting caught up in her lie, y'all. I just thought that was so. Wendy's a weirdo, but okay, Alethea, are you still here? Because she wanted to see the fashions. Let me just. Okay, I'm just. Okay, so here are the fashions. This is Wendy. Alethea, are you in the house? Because I'm specifically doing this for her. So while we're waiting on Mr. Chalaki to get it together and get through these technical difficulties, um, just give me a yes or no. Were y'all here for Wendy's ensemble? Can y'all say yes? Can y'all say no? Can you say I like it? If you like it, but you'd like a little tweak here or there. What did y'all think about Wendy's look? Tara says it's cute. Hi, Sharon. How are you doing? Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Let me see. MrChalaki's back. Let me add him. I'm waiting. Let me get situated. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready for me to bring you back, MrChalaki. Okay. Let's see. Say something.
Something.
Perfect. Okay, we were gonna just skip to the fashions, but we'll get to that later, y'all. We got MrChalaki back. We got him for a good time, not a long time. So let me go in and get back to the conversation. Let me remove Wendy. Okay, Wendy, we'll see you later, girl. How are you doing?
Well, I did win.
Yeah, Lord. Um, okay, so Mia,
Hold on
she
a
got
minute.
caught out. Huh?
I was gonna say, I'm sorry. I had got a phone call and it kind of just messed everything up.
I know
I'm gonna
how that
start
goes.
telling my I'm gonna start telling my family to leave me the hell alone because I'm on with TiwanC and the lovely people.
That's
Okay.
right, you tell him. Um,
Okay. I
now
was gonna
as far
say,
as this, mhm.
I'm sorry, y'all. Um, I was gonna say that when Giselle and Karen had that whole emotional moment, that kind of, for some reason in my mind, I got to thinking that maybe Giselle should try women. Maybe that because I've never seen because Giselle, she don't give a damn about these men, and I know it's because of her, you know, how bad she's been done, in her life by men, unfortunately. But I think that maybe, just maybe, I mean, I have a good friend. She's been straight as long as I've been knowing her, and her best relationship right now that she's in is with a woman. Never been attracted to women, nothing. And all of a sudden, she's been with this girl for like a year, and they are just dipping it and doing it, and growing flowers and everything. It's just lovely. And so maybe Giselle should try. Hell, I'm sure Robin to be down. She's down for everything else
I'm sure
Giselle
she
do.
would. That'd be a better fit for her than Juan at this point. And I'm gonna tell you something. When Giselle and Karen were having their moment, Robin did look
Hmm.
legit jealous.
Hmm.
She did look legit jealous. So I don't know. Maybe that's something for her to look. Um, she now I tried to chalk that up as her reaction as far as Karen was concerned. I tried to chalk that up for the fact that they had history before the show, you
Yeah.
know. And I think that it even like maybe Giselle has probably not been the kindest to Karen's kids. And so she was overwhelmed by the fact that Karen could still be kind to her daughters, because I can't imagine that after now for me, for Karen to bring up anything like the whole thing, you wish death on Ray, that was stupid. But for me, if Karen would have said at this point, I'm still holding a grudge on how you treated me and Ray over his tax issues when my parents were both dying, that I
Right.
could see her still being upset about. And so, and
Hmm.
I could see her children not really wanting to deal with Giselle behind that. Like, mom, that's supposed to be your friend. She was your friend before the show, and she was running around saying all these things about dad. And you and dad and his tax problems. Why would she do that? Meanwhile, literally, Karen's parents are months away from dying, and then ended up dying months apart from each other. I
Yeah, it
still
was
feel a way
sad.
about that. And so I could see Karen having an issue with that, but I kind of felt like me trying to give Giselle the benefit of the doubt that maybe that was real, but it came more so from a place of like, wow, I've been so horrible to Karen, and she's still showing my daughter's love, and I didn't do that to her kids. I didn't give her family the same grace as she's given me. You know, that's how I took it. Maybe I'm being too light on Giselle with that, but that was how I took that. So, um, oh, but with Mia's tweets and the Scala coming out in her cute little dress and everything, I did get a chuckle when Mia said, "You brought her out here for two sentences." Like, I didn't understand the Scala's point, and the Scala with the pulling out the tweets. It didn't really land for me. Escala's voice was very shaky. She seemed very nervous. She seemed very regular and not prepared. And they have literally talked about Jamal and Monique more than they did Escala in this reunion. She seemed useless to me. But what did you think about Escala and her little 2 sentence appearance?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can't hear. I hear you. You don't hear me. I hear
I can't
you.
hear a thing. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh God. Hold on.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
y'all.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so let's go back to the fashions. Fashion time. Okay, so what were y'all saying about Wendy's ensemble? Do we like it or do we not? Give me a yes or no. What were y'all saying about Wendy? Let me go back before he came. Um, Tara said that it was cute. I think that was the only. Okay, Nisi said that yes, that's a look. Um, any other opinions? Hi, Egomania One. Is that what it is? Anything else? Okay, here he comes. Let's see. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Perfecto. Cool. Perfecto. Okay. So let
Y'all,
me.
this thing is so ghetto over here. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. You're fine. Look, we're just having a phone conversation on the internet with our friends,
It's
so it's all
I,
good.
I feel bad because it's not up to Potomac standards.
Oh, well, hey, Robin would understand completely, and so would
Okay.
Giselle. They would understand completely. I have a feeling. So, what I was asking you when you couldn't hear me, I was saying that as far as Mia getting caught up about her tweets and Escala having the tweets there, I felt like Escala was useless. And I don't feel like I think that it was supposed to be a moment for her to pull out those tweets, but her voice was just so. Well, why are you talking about me? Her voice sounded so shaky, and she seemed
Right.
nervous and out of place. And I did get quite the chuckle when Mia said, "What did y'all bring her here so she could say 2 sentences?" I laughed. Mia's not the funniest thing, but that was funny to me. What you think about Escala's appearance?
Scholar's cute, cute, cute. But once again, me, I would, I don't hit women or nothing, but I wouldn't tangle with Mia. That's a big girl, and she's
She
been
said
through a
she
lot,
wore
so I
a
know she can
12.
fight.
She said she wore a size 12 shoe. I wasn't
And I wear
expecting that.
13,
I
so
wear a 10 and I have big feet for a woman. And I thought she was gonna say a 10. She said 12. So she
so
had to.
word on the street is that Mia wears size 12 in men. So I'm not rocking with Mia.
She regardless, Mia was going to have money. Oh, echo, there's an echo. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I put my headphones in if it'll go away. Hold on, y'all. Because we don't want to put MrChalaki through any more complications. Okay. Tell me, does this solve the echo? Now that I have my headphones on, let me know if y'all still hear it.
Do y'all
Do
hear
y'all
it?
still hear an echo? Let me
I
know.
don't
Let
hear it
me know.
anymore.
Because Okay, you and I are good. I'm just waiting. Yeah, we have a little bit of a delay, so I just want for somebody in the chat. Are we sounding okay? Hello, hello, hello. What we sounding like? Okay, it's gone. Okay, thank you, thick girl. Thank you. Okay, echo's gone, so I'll just keep my headphones on. Um, okay, so back to, was it a scholar we were talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so what'd you think about her little appearance? She's cute. Yes, she's cute.
She can dress. I personally like a scholar. I would like to see a scholar back next season, but I don't think she's gonna be back next season. But it's just like, what was the point of bringing her on? Who else could they bring on? Like, I don't know. Maybe they just need to let it go and don't do no friends to the show because it's seven girls, right? Seven housewives.
Is six. I think a scholar was a seven, right? It's a let me hold up. Let me look at these. So Wendy, Robin, Ashley, Karen, Giselle, Candace. That's six. And then
Oh, okay.
a scholar made seven. A scholar made seven.
Okay.
What I'd like to see, if we're going to see a scholar, I'd like to see her replace Robin. Robin does not need to be there,
Mm,
and Giselle doesn't need an echo chamber. So I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I agree.
Uh,
I'm so
Escala
tired of it.
eventually brought something to the season, but she didn't bring anything to the reunion. But it was nice seeing her come on as Robin's friend, but still being able to call out the BS that she saw. So I did like that. She seems to
Hmm.
think for herself sometimes.
If you notice throughout the season, Robin didn't even film with a scholar. Like it's like a scholar just became her own
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's like they didn't even connect a scholar as Wendy as Robin's friend anymore.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
so, that's kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm. She can stand on her own, and I do like that. Um, Okay, so then now while we had her on the couch, she did have a question, Escala, the person who asked about the classism that Escala was always calling out that she sees in Mia. The person who wrote the question says, well, the main one who she saw as classes were Escala and Candace. Um, and they related it to the way that they would keep bringing up Mia's past as a stripper. How do you feel about that?
But as far as them continuously bringing up Mia's past,
Did you see that as them being the only two who were classes? Do you see that as classism? What were your thoughts? Was that a good call for the person who had the question?
no, not necessarily. You know, I don't think so. I think that's just Mia put everything out there. This is her first season. We found out everything about Mia for the most part. So it's just like that's just one of those things that you yourself put out there. I don't think it's more so. I don't think people are coming at me about being a stripper. I think that they bring that up because she comes at them about something or they have a disagreement about something. So it's like, okay, you call me something, I'm gonna call you something. I think it's more so that I don't think them necessarily looking down on her being a stripper. It's just you're gonna talk about you're gonna talk about my past or something about me, then I'm gonna bring up you being a stripper. I
Mhm.
don't know. It's one of those silly petty things, but I personally don't think it's a big deal being a stripper or whatever.
Right. And a lot of people don't, but clearly that cast does. That they clearly
Right.
see it as a big deal. So,
Right.
okay. I don't think it's the biggest deal. I don't think it's anything worth spending a lot of time on because we got you for like 20 more minutes. Okay, so Wendy mentions to Giselle that you want an apology about a fact regarding Karen talking about her issues with Jamal. Karen, and they didn't say Wendy, but it came out of Wendy's binder. Uh, you want an apology from Karen about a fact, but you're telling me that I can't get an apology from you about a rumor that you brought to the show about my family. Um,
Mhm.
what do you think about Wendy's statement as far as that is concerned? I thought that was worth discussing.
You said that one more time, Ty.
Okay, so Wendy, when she's talking to Giselle, and after they
Hmm.
had gone over again Monique's binder, but they didn't bring up Monique, Wendy says that Giselle wants an apology from Karen about a fact regarding when Karen was talking last reunion about Jamal and all the stuff that was in the binder. But then Wendy
Hmm.
says, but I want an apology about a rumor that you brought to the show, but you're telling me that I can't get an apology for that, but you want an apology for something that Karen said about you that was factual. What did you think about Wendy bringing up that? Did she have a point?
I think she had a point. I did. I mean, it is a fact that Jamal has slept with the congregation. Um, it's unfortunate, I don't even, I personally don't even think that Jamal and Giselle was even in a relationship to begin with. I think it's just off TV. Um,
Mm-hmm. None of us
so
felt like that was real.
right, and I just wish the people who are real just actually keep it real and be honest about what the hell is going on in their lives. Because half the people that claim that they're real on this show are not, or they're real about some things but not everything. And it's just like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, just keep it a buck, about everything.
And you
That was
kind of expect that. You kind of expect them to not be necessarily real about everything, but if you're going to
right.
bring something to the table, just make that real. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to put a lie in front of our faces. Like that's just stupid. I mean, all
Right.
the, freaking bloggers and detectives out there, your lie is going to get found out. It would benefit you to just not bring it to the platform. But
Period.
my thing with that, Wendy definitely had a point. I wish, though, again, this just goes back to me. If I could have had last season go the way that I wanted to go, ideally, Wendy would have been calling out Giselle when Giselle was bringing rumors to the platform about Monique's family. Wendy sat there and was by Giselle's side for all of the same shit that Giselle was doing to her this season. Wendy sat there and condoned it last season when Giselle did it to Monique. And so it's one of those situations where, for me, Wendy, you have a point, but Wendy, I don't care because you know what Giselle is about, and you let
Right.
us know that you know what Giselle is about when you read her on the first trip that y'all took, and was saying that she's gonna get karma, and now you see her for the dirty person that everybody said she was. You saw it last season, you saw it in play, but
Mm-hmm.
you let it slide, and so now Giselle is the same person this season that she was last season. Now it's just a year her target. So I just don't care. She has a
Right.
point, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Oh my
if
God.
we could just redo last season all over again, because
Mm-hmm.
I've said that my main issue with Monique was the fact that I was mad at Monique and mad at Candace, but Monique herself, she allowed Giselle to be to string her along and create this whole thing. And at the beginning of last season, Giselle pretended that she was Monique's friend. They was clicking together. It was exciting. It was like, oh my gosh, this woman, she's finally my friend. Boom. Giselle flipped on her ass that quick. I just really wish, for lack of better words, the brownies would have got together and the brownies plus Karen and just let Ashley, Giselle, and Robin be a team and let them four be a team because we automatically know who's going to be fan favorite in that situation. I just wish that would have happened because everything on the show boils down to Giselle being a mess. It stems
Mm-hmm.
from Giselle, and I just wish that. one day somehow, they see it, but the producers love her, so that still doesn't mean that she's not going to be on the show. So I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah, true. Giselle didn't appear to be going anywhere. Now, let's see. Now, here's where I have to call out Giselle. Total BS. Telling Wendy that she gave her daughter the side eye after Giselle's event in her driveway.
Right. She
What?
was just she just looked at the girl. That's it. She didn't roll her eyes. I'm like, okay, so you
No.
just trying to start some shit.
Right. Right. You're trying to now find a reason to justify why you're treating this girl the way you're treating her. You know?
Hmm.
Not that I don't think Giselle needs to provide any explanation. Giselle just being Giselle. Wendy saw it
Yeah.
last season, but she didn't care because Wendy wasn't getting that treatment from Giselle. Now she is. Now she wants an apology, just like Monique wanted an apology. But oh well. I
Hmm.
digress. Yeah. Wendy can't get any sympathy from me because of how she treated Monique. Period.
And I think that Wendy's stance was, I'm just gonna go ride or die for my friend Candace because Candace brought her to the show. So I think that that's
Mm,
probably where she was coming from. Um, but still, it just looked absolutely horrible. You being a new girl, you should have sat back and said nothing. But in another sense, it's like, okay, if I'm a new girl sitting back not saying nothing, will they keep me for the next season? So it's like she
yeah.
she definitely could have just not said nothing or went about it a different way. She should not have involved herself, so much in that situation. When yes, you know your friend Candace, but you don't know your friend Candace on this show. So and
Mm-hmm.
you don't know the
Mm-hmm.
situation and the backstory. So, I just wish she would have just stayed out of it, more. I think that if a scholar was on the show last season, I don't think she would have been so rah rah, up in Monique's face. But I still
Mm-hmm.
don't think that Monique was right about what she did.
Mm-hmm.
But I see how it happened for sure. But I just wish that both Monique and Candace were smart enough to realize who the real issue is on this show.
Right. Right. That's again, if only, like you said, we could redo season five. Gosh, yeah. Just where
Way that
everything took
Monique,
a turn for the worse.
yeah, the way that Monique gave it to Giselle on the reunion, that was everything. She finally, after watching the season, she realized, oh shit, like Candace is a lot. Me and Candace got our own issues and shit, and whatever, however I feel about that situation. But who I really should have been talking is Giselle, you know. But of course, there would
Yeah.
have been repercussions for hitting Giselle, of course.
Oh yeah.
So,
I think so. I think so. Um. Tara has says who would y'all feel like y'all could be friends with on the show? None of these girls.
hmm,
In real life,
uh, I could be cool with a scholar. I mean, I don't know much about Stella.
shoot,
From what I see, I like her. Um,
I don't see myself in real life wanting to be around any of them.
I think I could maybe be surface level friends with Karen, and maybe I can see myself going out to a club or some shit with Candace or something. But I'm not gonna surface level going out to eat. You know, going to
Hmm.
the club, those kind of friends. But would I be friends
Hi,
with any of
Indy.
them? No. Hey,
Hi,
Andy.
Indy. Um, yeah, I think maybe a surface level friendship with Karen, maybe, but
Right.
let's see here. Oh, Sharon said that she met Karen and she was nice. I can believe that. I can believe
Yeah.
it. Um,
I'm sure
let's
they're
see.
all nice.
You think they're all? I don't believe they are all nice, but
You don't think
maybe
so?
at appearances. No, I don't. I I don't think that they. No. um, I think that if I were to meet Robin, not Robin and Giselle, she might be nice in person. I can't
Right.
imagine Giselle being nice in person. I can't imagine Candace being nice in person. Wendy, she might be nice. Just everything about Wendy is just annoying to me. So I wouldn't even care as far as Wendy's concerned. Ashley, she might be nice now because she's happy that she's not poor. So she might be nice, but I wouldn't really want to be around her either. No. And Ascala, she just seemed weird at the reunion. I was kind of liking her a little bit in the season, but she started getting on my nerves.
What about
Um,
Mia?
Mia might actually be fun. As long as I don't care about her stupid lies, um, look, and I'm sure she
Right.
could tell me where I could find some slamming size 10 shoes if she can find very nice size 12 shoes. So maybe we can go shoe shopping together. So
Okay.
got to get my coin up though, because I mean, I know the girl's rich. Let's
Right.
see. What about, okay, so Ashley's package. The assumption that Michael is going into the PORN industry. What did you think about that?
I think that's exactly his goal. He might not start off doing that, but that's his goal. Michael's a freak.
What did you think about Ashley looking surprised at the notion?
Actually puts on fronts for that man. Like the whole thing with the whole body shaming thing with Michael clearly saying that, oh, I'm glad you get back in shape 'cause that's what I like and all that. Not giving a damn she just had a baby. Say, of course you're gonna come at Candace and not say nothing to your husband. You've defended your
Well,
husband
okay,
after he done
I
grabbed.
want to. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that.
Hmm.
So they did ask. Okay, you can't talk about Ashley without bringing up Candace. So Candace, what is this obsession that you have with talking about Ashley's body? Why are you body shaming a woman who's pregnant? Now this is where Giselle jumps in and says that even she is offended that Candace would do
Of
this. So
course.
it's clear. I hope that Candace, is able to see the writing on the wall. Maybe there
Hmm.
is a projector for Candace to see the writing on the wall that these girls have decided that you are public enemy number one, and now everything that you do offends everybody. So the body
Hmm.
shaming of Ashley, as a mother who has pushed out a child, that offended me that you said that. I did find it to be tacky, but she and Ashley are not friends. And that being said, I didn't have a problem really with Ashley saying, I don't mind hearing that from my husband because he actually sleeps with me, looks at my body naked, but I'm not trying to hear that from this bitch. Like, what? I don't care. Like, you have the body of a 12-year-old boy. Why are we talking about bodies here? Like, so I see why Candace said it. I see why Ashley wouldn't receive it from her. And I know when I've been in a relationship, I like to work out and I like to have a partner who likes to work out. And so I'll
Hmm.
take that kind of criticism from my partner, but like just some girl who is in a group of friends, and especially if she's not the one I'm cool with, like, girl, why are you talking about my body? That's how, so I could kind of look. Ashley's gonna take up for her meal ticket. We just like,
Hello.
Ashley takes up for him when he's grabbing asses. So we know she's going to take up for him when he's doing something as, minute as body shaming her. I didn't like it when I saw it on the TV and he's like, well, you're getting in shape. Hey, Shawana, look, y'all, Shawana came back. Hey, girl. Shawana came back
Hey.
for a live stream. Um, but yeah, it bothered me when I saw it, but I didn't mind Ashley's response. But what do you think about all of that?
Yeah. I definitely, see what you're saying, and I'm glad that Candace and Ashley had, after they had the whole colorism talk briefly, they talked about Candace said, I could never forgive you for what you did. I'm glad that came out because just say that I just don't like you and I never like you. And so nothing that you do or say, even if it's positive, even if it's, I don't give a damn because I can't stand you. And I'm glad that that actually came out because Candace and Ashley, that I think, as far as them having a friendship, they can be cool and have fun together, surface level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't gonna never be friends. And I you know, I don't blame them. I don't blame neither one of them if they don't want to be friends with each other. Sometimes you just don't like somebody, and that's just one of that situation. So
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what Candace says about Ashley and vice versa, it's never going to be received well. They don't like each other.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't like each other. They're going to continue to go back and forth with each other. Um, I do wish Candace would get over the fact that people are still friends with Monique. Like, girl, you didn't
Yeah,
handle yourself so well in that situation. Karen really did try to be neutral, and that's not good enough. You got to be on my side. And so, again, it was one of those instances where Candace had just kind of unloaded. Now, Ashley got her good when she told her she was going to need her bob to stop weaving. That about took me out. But so we get to Candace talking about the body shaming and not really explaining that. And that's the other thing. Ashley, even if her apologies are insincere, Ashley has apologized a number of times to people. Now she's apologized and gone back and done the same type of thing to him, but she has apologized. Candace doesn't take ownership of anything. That's another issue I think that people have with her, and I think that that's another reason why she's deemed as worse or her things are more severe than other people. She didn't even pretend to take ownership of anything. But that being said, so Candace takes this as an opportunity to say, well, again, y'all are looking at me more harshly because Ashley is I'm a black woman with 4C hair, and y'all talking about me body shaming her, but what about her talking about my dry hair? Is that not? And I'm sorry, for me, that doesn't equate to colorism, texturism, anyism, because as far as I know, we have seen Candace's wigs on the show, and we have seen Candace wear her head wraps, turbans, whatever on the show.
and
I've
braid.
not seen Candace running around in a teeny weeny afro on the show. I haven't seen her in a blowout. As far as I know, I don't think we've ever seen Candace's real hair. And but one thing that I do remember on the episode when Ashley said, when Candace said, "You brought your wide body ass," and Ashley's like, "I don't never say nothing about your dry ass hair." On that episode, Candace was wearing one of those head wraps, and at that moment, Ashley's hair was dry. And I remember it because people who reviewed the show were calling out. They're like, Ashley, now you can't be calling her hair dry with your hair looking like that. And Ashley's hair was looking dry. And that is a
Hmm.
thing. Like Ashley said, okay, we all our hair gets dry, but Candace was trying to make the differentiation that we don't have the same type of hair. Now, Candace, we guess you're a 4C if you're telling us, but we've never seen your hair. So I couldn't take her seriously with that. Because I've said that I have seen instances that I believe are actual real live colorism situations. And so
Hmm.
for her, the wordsmith, the girl who's good with the words, for her to bring up that was lame and stupid. And that fell on deaf ears for me.
No,
Bring
I
up, for me, the realest thing that I can say that I've seen this season was Robin's interactions with Wendy, and how Robin kept calling Wendy aggressive when Wendy would shut her down about her fake ass relationship or whatever. Robin calling
hmm
Wendy aggressive, that for me is an example of colorism, because Wendy raising her voice to you about defending her husband and her family, and Wendy saying to you that you don't have a relationship worth coming for, that's not aggressive. Wendy sitting across a room while she's pointing at you, that's not aggressive. Robin, when you took your big wide back ass up to Ashley's restaurant and got in her face like this is pointing in your face, that's aggressive. Robin, we have seen display actual aggression. When they had that dinner when Giselle was trying to read her book that she couldn't read and she got mad at somebody. Robin could barely eat her food. What the fuck? And Robin is always, what the fuck? What the fuck? You know, she could barely eat her food. And again, the thing with Monique and the umbrella situation, she was ready to nuck if she was buck. But I don't. And when called out about the Ashley thing, what she said was, "Well, I saw Ashley and I saw red." Okay, well, Monique saw Candace and she said she blacked out, so she saw black. But we're gonna excuse what you do and not. So for me, that is blatant colorism. When you're going to call someone else aggressive, and we know that that's a word that's associated with Black women, in order
Mm-hmm.
to, to make us seem more animalistic, more masculine, more whatever, to use that word against a dark-skinned woman for something that she has done, which is nowhere near as aggressive as your actual actions, that's colorism. Candace and the hair, I didn't even give a damn about what Candace was saying about hair. That was just stupid to me. But what do you think?
I think that that's definitely. I agree with you. I do think that the hair thing that is a part of colorism, but that was a fucked up example in that
Yeah,
moment that she used.
texturism is a thing. Texturism is a thing. So
Yeah, it was just.
if we had ever seen Candace's real hair and Ashley clowning it, then I'd be 100% behind her. Like, yeah, look at we haven't
I've
even
seen.
when Monique was ragtagging you, you was holding on to that wig. So even in that moment, we didn't see your hair. So I'm not accepting that. That's just dumb for me. For me.
Mhm. No, no, I hear what you're saying. I've seen Candace's hair. She posted it online. Candace has nice, pretty, big, bushy, hair. It was blown out. It was like light brown. I guess she colored it or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Candace has, nice, horsey hair, whatever all the dimensions and stuff is. I think that texturism is definitely in there. It's definitely a part of it. But in that instance, um, it was just a tick for tat thing. Oh, you said something. Okay, everybody's coming at me about body shaming you, so let me come at you
Mm-hmm.
about another serious issue that's in the community. That's what that was. But yeah, it was just it didn't quite work. But one thing I can say, just to give Ashley a little credit, I like Ashley. Just to give Ashley a little credit.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate her for she was wrong about what she said, but I do appreciate her attempting to talk about the colorism issue. You notice that none of them say nothing, and all of them sighed actually when Candace said the whole colorism. Oh, here we go again, and it's very
Mm-hmm.
interesting to
Mm-hmm.
me. None of them want to talk about it, but all of them have dark skinned daughters. All of them.
Not
Giselle's
Robin.
not well, yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Mia, she has a little girl. She's dark skinned.
Mm-hmm.
Karen has a dark skinned daughter. Giselle
Mm-hmm.
has three brown skinned daughters. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I know that I just wonder if at some point in their life when their daughters may be victim to colorism or they feel like a victim to colorism. I just wonder what Giselle is gonna say.
See,
Like,
okay, I get it, and this is so when this is what I notice when because I try to talk, I try to broach the subject of colorism with my lighter skinned friends, and this has been from the time that I knew what the word was and that I knew a word existed about this thing. And what I honestly noticed is that my light skinned friends act about colorism the way that white people act about racism.
mm,
When you have a privilege, you've gone through your entire life with the privilege, and so you don't even realize that it exists. It's just the way you move. It's always been there. You don't think about a privilege that you have. That's what makes it a privilege. It's just
Mm-hmm.
there, and I just get things because of this. And there, so in your mind, and I have a number of white friends, who I met through school, work, whatever. And I talk to everybody about the uncomfortable things. And I have white male friends who literally were in the same position that I was in, out earning me, even though I'm out working them. And when I talk to them about racism, they'll just say things like, I mean, I'm not, I'm not rich. I'm not a millionaire. I go to work every day like every other person. And so in their mind, because there's not some extra windfall of cash or something, then like, what do you mean privilege? I'm not privileged. I have to get up and go to work every day like you. So in their mind, just going through the daily grind, and I have a neighbor who's black. Me and him both get up and we both go to work at the same time. We both blah blah, and so in their minds, that's what it is. What do you mean privilege? Nobody gave me
Mm-hmm.
anything. I wasn't born rich, blah blah. Even though they don't see that just having that color skin allows them to get into the opportunity a little bit more easily than it did, say, someone like me. They probably were able to get into position and get the salary that they wanted offered to them right away, versus I, who had to negotiate to get the salary that I deserved, and it was still on the low end of what I got. And so, but they don't see it because
Mm-hmm.
it's just always been like, so like, unless something happened to where um you know $5 million was dropped in their bank account, they don't see themselves as privileged. And I noticed the same thing when I talk to my light skinned friends. What I'll hear from them is that, what do you mean? We're all black. I don't get anything that dark skinned people don't get. I don't get anything that you don't get. I'm just a black person. Nobody treats me any differently. Where are all these privileges? I don't see them. I'm not getting anything. White people treat me just like they treat any other black person. When there's literal statistic evidence that you can look up to see that light skinned people get hired more quickly and easily than darker skinned black people, that light skinned people who are in prison, who are imprisoned, who get sentenced to prison, get shorter sentences than dark skinned people for the same crimes. There's literally statistical, empirical evidence that shows you that there is a privilege to being a lighter skinned black person. No, it's not the same as being a white person, but colorism is nothing but an offshoot of racism. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
funny to me to see the people who benefit. And I benefit from colorism to a degree. I'm not a light skinned person, but I'm not a completely dark skinned person. So again, back to what I said at the beginning, wherever you fall on that spectrum, you have the benefit, you have the benefit, and you have, there's a pro and con just depending on where you fall on the spectrum. I'm right here. So the person who's up here on the lighter end of the spectrum, they're going to get, let's say 90% of the benefit, 10% cons. The person who's right below me, well, I get, 40% of the benefits. I get 75% of the, you know what I mean? And so even, so you're darker than I am, but we know there are black people who are darker than you. So you benefit
Mm-hmm.
more than they do. You know what I mean? And but when I talk to light skinned people, their reaction is just like listening to black people talk to white people about racism. You know,
Mm.
uh, I don't see what you mean. That's what I see.
It's real interesting. That's so true. And sometimes you take, or people take their own personal experience of things they've been through and say, "Oh, well, I didn't have an easy life because I dealt with this, I dealt with that," and it's like, yes, that's true, but like in general, you still don't get that you like, benefit. It's like they don't ask you 9 times when you go to the mall, do you need help? What you looking for? But they'll ask me, because they think I'm finna steal something. So it's
Hmm.
those kind of child is a mess. It's
Right.
something else. So I just wonder with Giselle, a person who's been privileged her whole life. Um, and it's so funny. You talk to Giselle and Robin. Oh, I'm a black woman. I'm a black woman. It's been proven with Robin. She's 66% white, and it's just like
Was it
I
quite
understand you
that
have.
high?
I think yeah, it was at least 60.
Okay, I thought it was like I thought she was like a 47-53 split. For some reason, that's what I had in my head. But biracial, right? At
Right,
the most, like you're not fully black. Like
right, and it's fine. It's just like just say that you're
yeah,
biracial.
it doesn't make you a bad person. It just is what it is. And being a light skinned black person doesn't make you a bad person. There is a privilege though that you have, and there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. Like because if we're going to have real discussions, they have to start from a real place and facing what the reality is. If we don't all
Hmm.
acknowledge where our place is in it and that it even exists, we can't move forward. Because what I hear for a lot of the time is, well, I wish it didn't exist. I would, we're all black. We all just need to, but we can't just all just do something if we don't start from a factual basis on where we are. It's
Yep.
not going to happen. There's no movement forward because, you know, people aren't being heard because there is a perception that, oh, dark skinned people just complaining. We're all black. We all go through the same struggle. What do you mean it's worse because you're dark? That's just stupid. No, it's really a reality.
Real talk. It's like you hear some of your people's growing up when you're a child. Oh, you too black, stay out there, son. What does that mean? I'm too damn black. Like, oh, you tell her, oh, put a perm in her hair nappy. What's wrong with the hair that grows out of her scalp? Just learn how to do it. Moisturize. Keep it
Which
healthy.
I still take issue with Giselle's tagline for that reason, that the secret to this beautiful face is staying in the shade. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just loaded with colorist innuendo. Um, mm.
It's just weird. It's
And I
like, what
think
do
that
you
she knew what she was
expect?
doing.
Yeah. And it's like, what do you I think sometimes people almost expect, and men do it too. Sometimes they get with these women and they hope and pray that their child comes out like with nice hair. They're hoping it, but then their child come out as
Mhm.
dark as them. And then it's like, oh, oh shit. It's like, well, what do you expect you as a real light skinned person? You got from somebody who's dark. I mean, it's a possibility that your child's gonna come out dark. But they're
Mhm.
just shocked. It's crazy.
Look, I had a white fiance, and nobody was ever rude about it, but there was definitely concern about, well, what color will the child be? It will
Mm-hmm.
probably be teasingly tan. That was what they all said, and I'm sure that was what they hoped. But little did they know, I had no intentions on bringing biracial children into the world. And I say that from a personal experience because my best friend from high school, ugh, I'm trying to get choked up, was a biracial young girl who struggled with her identity through her whole life, and it ended her life early. She died at 23,
Oh
and
gosh.
over just trying to learn about the other side of her. And I just like, and we used to have real deep discussions, about, we didn't know it was called colorism, but we would talk about, the way that people reacted to us versus other friends. And, okay, well, we would peep everything and we would just talk about it. But she was just so confused about who she was. And
Mm-hmm.
she grew up basically kind of coddled in blackness because she was seen as the pretty black girl and was always pedestalized. She had these beautiful, striking blue eyes. She had freckles and long, thick, curly black hair. And so that just made her like black plus plus plus. You're top of the cream of the crop black, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she knew that wasn't all that she was, and but because she was socialized mostly around black people, that was what she knew. And so she just knew kind of being pedestalized in social circles, but it was her father who was white and who would tell his family, "You're not going to deny my children." She had a brother, and you're not going to deny my wife. Like, so basically, she was forced on the white side of the family. The black side of the
Mm.
family accepted her, loved her because, oh, we got us a light skinned kid to
Right.
dote on, and all that. So she knew love and acceptance from black people, but she needed to figure out what was going on the other side. And I'll just say she got mixed up with the wrong white people, and something really bad happened to her because I don't feel like crying tonight. And
Mm.
yeah, I don't have a
No, I'm
canvas
sorry,
tissue, so I won't
someone.
go there. No, it had to happen, unfortunately. But so yeah, it's just like there's just like is that for me? Like,
Gotta fold
thank
it.
you. But no, I mean, like it's some really deep stuff, and I would still like, date outside of my race again. I would,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but I would make it clear, like, I hope you don't want children. Like, I mean, the age I am, like, I really hope you don't want children because, like, it seems like it's not even gonna be an option. But yeah, I was never interested in having any biracial children. I wouldn't mind having a white husband, or a non-black husband, but we're not having we're not doing it because I know how to. I feel like I would know how to raise a black child. I've been black for a good long time, and so I feel I could teach you how to navigate through the world. I couldn't do that for a biracial kid. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell you. And then then I was always afraid of running the risk of, is my child going to resent their blackness because of me? Like, would be like, well, man, I wish my mom were white. I'd have it much easier, And now I'm only half white because my black mom. Like, so many things went through my head,
Yeah,
thinking about that. So yeah,
it's tough.
wasn't expecting.
No, it's okay. It's a whole different ball game. It's interesting because the whole black and white thing, that only matters. Nobody cares if you're Asian and white. Nobody cares if you're
Right.
Indian and Latina. Nobody talks
Mm-hmm.
about being half Hawaiian and half white.
Right.
Like nobody talks about any other mix. It's just only black and white.
Right. Right.
It's a
Right.
trip. This
Or
world.
anything with black. Anything with black.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what truly matters. And there are a lot of people who subscribe to the notion that there are really only two races, black or white, and that anyone who's not black is just some different ethnicity of white. I don't know. That's a
Mm.
discussion for another day. But anyway, that, we pretty much got through what happened in part two. And I know I don't want to hold you. I do want to respect your time. I think we pretty much got it all. Yeah, we got it all covered. So, do you want to stay and talk about the fashions, or do you need to go? Because if you do, I totally understand.
I have a little bit more juice left, so we can go with the
Okay, a
fashion.
little more juice. All right, y'all, let's go and look at these fashions. Hi, it's Chevy Triple Nickel. How are you doing, Chevy Triple Nickel? He used to always come on here looking for my ex fiance, but we're not together. I don't got no white man no more. We're not together. Oh gosh. Hey, Lo-Fi says, let's see, Scream went black for me and Cam came back. Huh? Okay, all right, so you're good, Alethea. You can see because this is actually Alethea. She requested that we go over the fashions because she doesn't watch the show. She just wanted to get a good laugh. So,
Yeah.
okay, do you want to go in any particular order or how you want to do this?
Mm, I don't know. Let's just like shake it up and just see who comes out.
Okay, so look, so when you were gone a couple times, we started with Wenday. So Wenday, chat, is it a yes? Is it a no? Is it a maybe? So what are we feeling? I saw two people earlier said that it was cute. But what do y'all think? Who's here now? Who's still here?
It's definitely a in between for me. Nice color.
Mm-hmm.
I think she looks pretty. Um, nice oiled legs, all the good stuff. I like the shape. I do not like the big biscuit that's sitting on top of her shoulder.
The biscuit. Not the
I don't
biscuit.
enjoy the croissant, the donut, whatever it may be. I'm just not one of them people that like something up around my neck. Um, I think
Mm-hmm.
if that was taken off, or maybe if the bow was like on the waist, it would work better for me.
Yeah, if this thing were gone, I'm with you. I don't like that shoulder, the conch shell. I don't like
Hmm
that. I'm not here for that.
I also don't
Queen B,
like the.
hey, Queen B says a wad of toilet paper. No.
It do look like toilet paper just balled up, or newspaper.
Okay. So look, for the most part, people are not feeling too badly about it. Okay, let's go on to
Yeah,
uh
it's not too bad.
Rob. Robin.
Um, Mother the
I'm gonna
bride.
say uh, I agree, and with that being said, I'm gonna say for Robin, this is not bad, and
True.
I'll take this 10 times over for her reunion look last year, the gold turtleneck dress.
Yes.
I didn't know what the
Uh,
hell she was thinking with that.
and
So it,
the tire tracks in her hair.
the tire tracks, yes. Yeah. I don't mind this for Robin. For anybody else, I'd say like, oh, girl, you could have done better. But for Robin, this is one of her better looks.
I like the
Uh,
hair. She looks
I like
great
it
with.
better than last year.
Right. She looks really good with short hairstyles. I think short works for her. I don't like long hair on her.
There was one reunion early on when she did. It wasn't extremely long, but it was like big
I think that was
layered.
reunion
Was it
one,
the
the first
second
one.
season? Was it the first? I like that on her. I like that.
Hmm
But I let's see. What are y'all saying? It's a no for Tara. Wiswall says she likes it. Shawana says no. Boo. Big girl says she looks bad. Shawana said she didn't understand the assignment. She said, "Is it even pink? Wasn't pink the assignment?" Lo-Fi
Right.
says the hair was cute. Tara says curtain vibes. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Sharon says, okay, so here's another adjustment without the sleeve that she could see it.
Okay.
I could see it without the sleeve. Yeah, I could see it.
hmm
Um, yeah, I could see that. She had tire streaks in her hair. Forget yellow streaks. She had tire streaks in her hair last reunion.
Right.
Let's see here. Okay, so let's go and move on to
Can I say
uh,
this?
yes.
I definitely think that, not to make it a whole color thing again, even though, it is what it is, but I think that they should dress the lighter skinned girls different than the darker skinned girls because some of the like the yellow last season, it looked horrible on some of them. And it's like,
That would cause so much trouble
you think
if
so? Yeah,
literally, oh yeah, if the dark skinned girls were assigned a different color than the light skinned girls, that would cause trouble. Now, I will
I see what
say,
you're
I think
saying.
that everyone can wear any color. People need to find their shade. No
Yeah.
one looks better in yellow than Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore knows how to do yellow, she knows how to do white, but it can
hmm
work for everyone. Now, surprisingly enough, the girl who has the richest and creepiest husband, in my opinion, never looks like money. But at this reunion, Ashley, for me, nailed it. Um, I
Agreed.
love, I love how Ashley is looking. In the
That's
grand
correct.
scheme of things, no, but compared to this group of girls, in these reunions, Ashley did it for me. It's plain, it's simple, but it's fitting her nice. She definitely has her snatch back. The legs are looking great. Um, it's tailored to fit her body perfectly. I love this look. I love it. This is, I think, the best.
Hmm.
I know for sure. I mean, the last two reunions Ashley was pregnant, but this I think is her best reunion look ever. I think Ashley gets it wrong in the fashion department a lot.
Yep, almost every time. But this time, she's Darby's Barbie.
Oh God.
That was so creepy. I was like, ugh.
Everything about Darby is creepy. Everything. Let's see. Sharon says that's cute on Ashley. Lo-Fi Sis says, yes, Ashley was awesome. Prosperity says she looks great. She gave a total look. Shawana says she looked good. Okay, so we like this. We
Yep.
like this. Oh, she appears to have hips, so it's a 10. Oh, okay, hips. Yeah, look, Ashley filled out nicely after having children. Um, Ashley didn't have all that body before. She was always a cute girl, but she filled out well. The mom body did her good, even if it means that it came with sagging boobs. She can. Her husband got enough money to get them pulled up, if that's what she
Right.
wants to do. But apparently, she's wearing a very supportive bra. Or there's a very good built-in support in that dress. She's serving. I got to give it to her because I rarely can. Karen, what you think about Miss Karen?
The pose is everything from the ground down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think all that grease or oil that Wendy had on her legs, I think she should have given some of it to Karen.
Ooh,
Put it on the
St.
knees.
Karen's legs ashy. Oh man.
Karen's, if they're a little, they need water or something. They're a little dehydrated, her legs or something. They need a little
Ooh.
spit shine.
Oh man.
Um,
Y'all, we are here with MrChalaki. Alethea just dropped the link for his channel in the chat. Thank you, Alethea. So if y'all want to go and
thank
subscribe to
you.
his channel because he does review this show and other reality shows. And we're going to do Real Housewives of Atlanta on his channel when that starts. So y'all gonna want to be over there. So
Uh,
he
that
says she
boring ass
needs
show.
some I know. I know. He says she
Uh,
needs some lotion.
yeah, a little WD 40, something. Um, Overall, Karen looks great. Karen is the oldest cast member. She looks the best a lot of times. Um, I like her hair. I like the makeup. It's a simple dress. I think that some would argue that it may be a little bit not age appropriate. Um,
Oh, I'm here for it.
the split is a little high for grandma. Bless her heart. But she looks great. Nice legs. You know, just need a little spit shine. A little bit on those knees.
Oh man, not the
Um,
knees.
but I do like the dress. I actually would probably prefer this dress on somebody taller like Mia. I think Mia would have worked this dress out.
You know what? You have a point there. This is definitely a dress for the legs. I'm still going to put Karen in my top three.
Yeah.
Um, I liked this dress originally because when they did the first cast photo with all the looks, hers stood out to me because I love seeing Karen's body. I love seeing a damn near 60-year-old woman look like this. When the cameras got up close to her on the reunion, I told you already, I hated this sheer part up here because it was giving
Hmm.
me Lisa Nicole realness, ice skater uniform at the top, mesh, and I don't like that. I wish that I don't know. Like I'm guessing part of that is just to hold the boobs in, but like maybe a band across to stitch them together. I don't know, but I hated the top up close. You know, it photographs well from a distance because it does give nude vibes from a distance.
Right.
Shout out to Bette Midler, but up close you can see the mesh, and it reminds me of my drill team uniform from high school. So there were like nine of us black girls in this almost all white drill team, and we had to
Yeah.
wear nude color stockings, which made our legs look ashy, and
Yes.
the white girls would look like white legs out there, and then it looked like these nine little pairs of ashy legs. That's what that mesh is giving me up top because it doesn't quite blend in with the skin. But she's serving because of her body. Um,
Hmm.
I'm not the biggest fan of the dress. Yes to the stilettos. Yes to the legs looking great and all that. But yeah, I'm with you. I do think that Mia at 6 feet could have pulled that off better. I love seeing tall women in short dresses. I do. I do like,
Hmm.
when they've got the legs, I do like to see that. Let's see. What are y'all saying? Karen, it's a yes from Tara. Karen is always awesome from Love Life says. Sharon says she's stepping in those stilettos. Oh, girl. Um, is it me or is Karen prettier this season? I don't know. She probably has some more work done, so she could be prettier. She definitely is prettier from than she was in her first seasons on the show. Karen's
Oh
definitely had
yeah.
some work done, and she's not afraid to admit that. So you mean the train situation, Alethea? Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
a bit much. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Shawana says, I wasn't feeling the sheer part or her hair makeup up close. She looks bomb. Yeah, the from a distance, like she's ready for the photographs, but up close, yeah, I kind of feel you on that. And all the girls, with the exception of Ashley, everybody's makeup was too harsh.
Hmm.
Everybody, I don't know what Candace goes crazy with the contouring and
And
Wendy's
the
makeup was
and
on
those
point
lashes.
last season. Yes, she makes her face look weird with all that. Um, Sharon says, "Back off us old girls. We can be sexy." Okay, tell them,
That's
Sharon.
right.
Look, tell them. I'm not mad. I'm not. Don't do us 5 foot people like that. I'm sorry. Look, I like to see everybody, but I do just have a thing for tall women in short dresses with long legs. Like I don't know, maybe that's just the '80s kid in me growing up in that era of supermodels. Seeing the
And
long-legged girls.
honestly, a lot of fabric, long trains, all that stuff does work better for people who's taller because otherwise it's just everything is just completely dragging the floor, to the point where it's just like, okay, you're gonna need somebody to like carry it, this entire time. And I do agree with sis about the fabric. It's just like, but I guess without the fabric, would the dress be too plain? Would it just be like a freakum dress, a
Yeah,
regular party dress?
it probably would be. Yeah, it probably would be. I don't. The funny thing is, I don't like the fabric, but I don't think that I would like this dress anymore without it. I think that for some reason I
Right.
would like it less. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel you on that. Okay, speaking of long trains on short people,
True. Now this, I thought she looked great. I thought the side ponytail served. I enjoyed the cut of it. I enjoyed it. It is a little long. I'll say that. It could be shorter, but I think a scholar looked great. She was definitely my number two in terms of best dress. And I don't mind
um,
the little croissant on her shoulder either.
a pink croissant.
Hmm.
Um, I loved her makeup and hair. Um, this was one of my favorite dresses. Also, originally, her and Karen, when I saw the original that cast picture that came out with all the girls, I
Hmm.
liked this dress a lot, and something about it up close just didn't hit for me. Um,
Oh, you know what it looks like? It looks like a silk pillowcase. That material. That's what it was giving
Yeah.
me.
The funny thing is, my sister designed her own prom dress when she went to prom in 1989. It looks a
Hmm.
lot like
Yeah, I was born.
this. And my sister actually she was voted best dressed at her prom. Very very fly, very whatever. My mom had the dress made and it came out really cute. And so I'm guessing that for me, just seeing like this is giving me an 80s vibe that's unintentional. Because
Mm.
my sister had it was short, but she had like the big all the but it was all the way down the side. And it was fuchsia. It was fuchsia and gold that she had like gold bow, fuchsia bow, gold fuchsia all the way down, and they thought she was the flyest thing,
Because she
obviously
was.
at her prom. She was, and my sister, she has a knack for design. She designed her own wedding dress. She's good. She's talented, but that's what this was giving me. And up close, the fabric didn't look really expensive up close.
Hmm.
Um, I don't want to say low budget, but
Oh,
no,
oh
it
no, we
just
can't say that.
yeah, because that's not nice.
You know
But
what though?
I don't know.
This probably would have been better in like silver. I think like
In
a pretty
silver,
silver. I think silver or like gold. It would have been a moment.
I could have seen it working more in whatever was going on with Robin's dress.
Mm.
Um, if it's gonna be a silver, like a muted silver, not like the bright shiny silver. If that's
Hmm.
what you like, some kind of neutral tone, I could see it working better. But I guess that wasn't the assignment. I don't know. I don't know. Um, at least I've seen Barbie dolls, so not Darby's Barbie, but a Barbie. Let's see. It's a negative for Tara. Shawana loves her hair and makeup. Yeah, I did like her hair and makeup. I did. I did. Um,
And that's what Scholar's real hair, right? At least it looks real.
I believe
She's
that that is her real hair.
Somalian, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, Somalian or Ethiopian. I think she's Somalian. Yeah, I think she's Somalian. I don't understand the long puffy sleeve. If it matched the other side, then yes. Okay, so you want the two things coming up instead of the sleeve. So yeah, we can make. She was popping. Let's see. Okay, okay. So let's see here. Let's go to the next one. Giselle.
Turn. Looking
Giselle.
like the bag lady.
Um, if this were not for the reunion and just for some church function minus the belt, I wouldn't hate it. It's it's not dressy enough for the reunion. It's there's nothing wrong with a jumpsuit, but it makes me like are the stovepipe legs back? Is that why we're not wearing a split? Like I don't know. I don't know.
Ugh.
But this is not a reunion vibe for me.
And you know Giselle thought that she was the bees. You know Giselle thought she was that girl. She was like, oh, I'm putting this belt around there and set this shit off. Oh, she
Right,
gets on my nerves.
right. I really think that that's what she's thinking every time. Like, well, I'm gonna do it to them, y'all. Oh, these hoes not gonna know what to do when they see the way I'm about to come down. They want to be talking about Giselle. Wait till I come out
Uh,
with this shake and go wig, okay, that I got on sale for $45. And no,
right.
the part is not plucked, but that's okay because I am Giselle. And yeah,
Okay.
I'm put on this chain belt. The girls are going to not know what to do with themselves.
Hmm.
The girl says she looks like a praise dancer. I'm sure she meant rain down on me, not train down on me.
Yeah,
Rain
yeah.
down on me. Rain down on me.
Melodies. Yes. It's just God. And the fact that it's bright pink.
Hey,
If
at
this
least
was
she
jet
understood the
black,
assignment.
right. If this was jet black, it still would have been bad, but it wouldn't have been that bad because it's jet black. It's like, it would have she would have been able to blend in and get away with it more. But the fact that it's bright pink, you see just all the wrong in it.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. That's Giselle. That is Giselle.
It's like, why couldn't it just be
Sarah
fitted?
says, right. Look. Okay, so the best look I saw Giselle in this season was at Karen's vow renewal. I,
Yeah.
I wish she could have just had that dress made over in pink.
Mm-hmm.
It was plain, simple, just like Ashley. It was plain and simple,
Yeah.
but it worked. It did the trick. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Toss it. um, oh gosh, y'all
Hated
are so
it.
right. Hi, Jeanette. How are you doing? So looking nice. Yeah, it just wasn't reunion attire. It was not reunion attire. I agree. I agree.
I disagree. I think
For
this was
me,
the worst.
for me, it was still the worst because it wasn't reunion attire. Now, Candace for me is runner up, but Jeanette says that Giselle's the worst and Candace is the runner up. For me, this is still just the worst because it completely doesn't understand the assignment beyond the color. This is again, I don't know what church function she was going to. I don't know. She left the reunion and went to the Stellar Awards and had to present Byron Cage with an award. I don't know what happened after this, but let's go on and look at Candace. She's the last one.
You have a beautiful smile, Jeanette.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I have the most beautiful people come to this channel. Um, okay, so
It's
stop.
the
When
pose.
Ashley say, "I'm gonna need your weave to stop bobbing,"
I did
or
not like.
I'm
I don't know why they chose that, but it's not like it looks bad. It's just like that's just not that particular bob, and you see the point at the top. It's just like a little wig they just found and just put on top of her head. It's just then
it
they use the
looked
baby.
like she just won an audition for whatever the next Supreme's biopic. She's like she's about to start, baby, baby, where did our love go? Don't you leave me. That's what all that I see.
I
Um,
think that they were going for
Diana
Miss
Ross coming
Pretty,
straight up out of the projects of Detroit. And
right?
this we gotta nail this audition for Barry Gordy so we can get this deal with Motown. That's what I see.
I think they were going for Miss Pretty, Jada Pickett's character on the Nutty Professor, when she had that bob,
Everybody keep talking about that Bob.
and hers was a good bob, but this was they tried it, but they failed. It was just not a good bob. Candace is a real cute girl, but this bob was just not
Oh
it.
no. Shan said looked like she has a top knot under the wig. She didn't just get a braid down for the wig. She got a whole a whole bun at the top. It does look
Yep,
like the wig is sitting up kind of high. I don't know what, and it's not like from teasing and giving volume to the hair. It's just ah. And then this waist situation, this piece hanging over the top, and it's not tailored well. It's ill fitting in the whole midsection. the way that it's pooching out at the bottom, you would think that she's pregnant, or that there's some extra weight going on in her midsection, which we know there's not. It's just an
Yeah.
ill-fitting dress.
She's really, really petite, and she's also lost some weight recently, so she's even more, tiny. And I think that she probably got fitted for this a while back, but then she lost weight, and it was like, oh shit, we ain't got time.
Jeanette
Oh,
gave
thank
you a
you,
compliment on your smile.
thank you. And it's
Shawana
like,
says it's cute with a crying, laughing emoji.
right, it's you. Um, I would have liked to see Candace. Okay, the top part is okay, but the bottom part no scratch. I would like to see her in like a cute little short puffy skirt or something like
Hmm.
something that just doesn't drag the floor, that doesn't drown her out because she's such a small girl. It's like she needs something short or and something
Or
fitted
something
and
tight. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
hmm and that definitely would have worked a lot better. Or maybe she just would have had on like some pants at the bottom or something. That would have worked better than this.
A lot of things would have worked better than this. This is very bad. This is very, very bad. Very bad dress.
And
Um
it shouldn't be hard to dress her because she's so small. So it's like,
because she is so small, you would think that there'd be a lot of great options, right?
hmm
And she went with this one though. um
like,
option. So Miss Chalaki, that's all that we got for the girls. Did you know that
oh no,
I what?
Mia.
Oh my gosh, I didn't get Mia's picture. Okay, hold up, y'all. Let me find Mia's picture. Let me find
She's
Mia's picture.
forgettable.
Uh
Mia's
oh.
forgettable.
Uh oh. I
You
can't.
got to go back.
So then there are 7 housewives. There are.
hmm
Let me be sure. Yeah, I didn't get her and her peacock. Indy, will you go away from me, please? Go away from me with this. Go. Let's see. Hold up, y'all. Please be patient with me. Let's see. Where's Mia? Where is frickin' Mia? Okay, there's the whole cast. I wanted to get her by herself. Where is the one where she's standing up by herself? Did she not? Oh, there she goes. I was gonna say, did she not take one of these? Okay, let me do this, and I'll give it to y'all in StreamYard. Let me upload it. Here we go. Okay. Oh, sorry, MrChalaki. Good call, because I thought we were done. Okay,
No,
here
you're
we go.
fine.
There. Mia. Pink
Pretty.
peacock.
It was pretty. I like the design. I thought she looked good. Good train. Um, I thought she looked nice. Now her makeup to me is a little.
Thank you, Sharon. My dog is just barking.
Her makeup makes her look a little older to me. Like she looked. Maybe it's a plastic surgery, but this reunion she looked
I was gonna
older.
say it could be her surgery.
Yeah, she looked real. Like I was like, oh girl, okay. She looked mature.
Are
Um,
the legs oiled up enough?
they're a good fit, or they're fine. They're fine. They all should have helped Karen. For sure. Um, the shoes, though, I don't necessarily like the shoes, but I don't hate them either. Um, I feel like she could have did
A
better
big
with the
dealer.
shoes.
She had to wear her stripper heels though.
Right.
that was an intentional thing. Now
They
Sharon
probably
said
didn't have her size.
she looks boxy, and I do agree, and I'm sure that that's part of the reason that this waistline is designed to give the illusion of a more snatched in waist than she has, good eye there, Sharon.
That's a good call out.
Okay. Tara said we could have forgot about her. Look, I
We
don't
could have.
Shawana likes the bottom, but not the top. I do like the way that it kind of does the ombre thing down into
Mm-hmm.
fuchsia. I like that. But
Oh,
I what?
Wendy should have had on this dress. Because Wendy got that, she
I
got
can
the
see
body
that.
now. Her
I
waist is
can see
probably more
that.
snatched than me is.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
it is giving a box illusion, but Wendy kind of, she got some curves now. So I could see
Hmm.
Wendy in this. Hmm.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I honestly was expecting two better, Jeanette, just based on how she was dressing during the season. I was
Yeah.
expecting better. I'll be sure my dogs are okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree. The legs look good. I love big long legs, so I'm here for that. Indy, Mama, come lay down. We're about to go. Okay, just lay down. Oh, you come say hi. Come say hi. Come here. Say, hey, y'all,
Hi,
I'm ready to
Andy.
go. I'm ready to
Hi,
go.
Andy.
Okay. Go lay down, Mama. Go get in your bed. We're about to go. Okay, so that's it now. Now, before we go, since we've already run over, did you know, MrChalaki, that let me get this away, that I recorded my first gospel song with the Clark sisters?
What?
Okay, so I don't like to brag, but I'm going to share it. So I have a second channel called Somebody's Pastor is Always Getting Arrested. And I posted content on the channel. I've had the channel for over a year, but I only had 3 videos, and I just started creating content last week. And so there was a situation going on at a church in Virginia Beach where a pastor got caught trying to solicit sex from a 16-year-old. It was one of those sting operations where kind of like they would do on To Catch a Predator. So
Um,
I felt so passionately about it that I wanted to write a song, and so I reached out to the girls, you know, and I said I explained them the situation, and they felt the way that I did, and I asked them if they could get in the studio for a remix, and they did. So before we go, would you like to hear my remix?
well, I don't know if I'm. Hell yeah! I want to hear Dorinda, Twinkie,
Okay,
Pam, and Jackie and
all right,
Taiwan.
let's just let me pull it up. So I'm gonna have to find the video.
If I'm living in
Okay, hold on.
there.
So gotta go to my channel because it is there. But so let me do this. Okay, first, let me know. I'm gonna share my screen, but I'm gonna do something else first because I want to know if you can hear it before I start. Okay, so share screen, share it, the Chrome tab, share. Okay, are y'all able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so let me know if you can hear this. Just me
For
talking.
stories about his going to
Isaac
court,
Hayes.
eventually being jailed for owing child support and
Could you hear me?
Hmm.
You heard
alimony.
me. You heard me talking.
Yeah, and I hear the audio
Okay.
too.
Okay, great. Okay, so let me now go to my channel and go to my videos. And here we have it.
You made my day. You made him pay. You stopped him from committing a crime that day. He got paid for a piece that was underage. Then you hit him with the teen prostitution case. You bet the jail time to his life. Now he is a nut boy, and so is his wife.
Well, that was all that we really, could do. I'm not the
I
greatest
love it.
writer, but I had to try to bring the girls
I love it.
together for a worthy cause. So that was me and the girls. You brought the jail time. And so
Amen.
that's, yeah, amen. So I just figured with Giselle and her, first lady gear, her praise dance gear, her Stellar Awards gear, that maybe we could go on and put that out there. Maybe I'll be the one getting a Stellar Award next year for,
Period.
bringing
Period.
the Clark sisters back together, first of
She
all,
that's the
you know.
perfect example of how she dressed. She do dress like a church lady. She really do. In the 90s.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the 80s, but yeah, she does. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so now look, y'all, I don't like to brag about the famous people I know and my exploits with said famous people, but I mean, I gotta brag a little bit. The girls, I brought them together. Hallelujah.
I
So
love it.
that's all that
Even
I got.
brought
Mr. Chalaki.
even brought Denise back. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, all of them. Look, I
I
told
love it.
them we can't do this if it's not going to be all of you. It's got to be all or nothing. And so I twisted their arms, and you know we got a hit. What can I say? I
Yes.
don't. We lit. Any closing words from people, Ms. Chalaki? What can we look forward to on your channel? What's the deal?
Um, more tea, more reviews, y'all. I do videos when I can. My work schedule is crazy. My life schedule is even more crazy. Um, so I definitely, just look forward to more reviews. I definitely wish I could do more content than I can, and I will. But just bear with me. More to come definitely from my channel. So that's pretty much it. And I appreciate y'all. TiwanC, you're the best. All of y'all for watching. Y'all are amazing. And, I definitely appreciate y'all. This is always a good time. It's always fun. It's always love. It's always family.
What? But don't ever sing. Which one of the Clark sisters are you talking about? Because I know you're not talking about me, girl. No. Oh gosh. Okay, so yeah, y'all, we'll be back next week with part 3 of the reunion, and then the week after that with part 4. Again, I don't know what day, so y'all just be on the lookout for my community tab. We're playing things by ear for Mr. Chalaki's work schedule, and so we'll just be here. Just know that after part 3 airs, one of them days, Monday through Friday, we'll be back to talk about it. And then after we're done with all 4 parts, we'll put that panel together, and we'll have a deeper discussion about colorism. And I want to get all skin tones and a lot of perspectives going in on that conversation because it needs to be had. It's long overdue for all of us. But that's
Hmm.
all that I got. Thank you.
Yes.
Alethea is putting Mr. Chalaki's channel in the chat again, so you can click on that link and subscribe to him. You can also subscribe to Alethea B. She has 2 channels. On her Alethea B channel, that's just if you want to learn about foreign exchange trading. Alethea and I do a live session every Wednesday, so Joel can learn how we are growing our accounts doing foreign exchange, just a skill that we learned. And you can come and watch us and learn some things from us on Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. She airs it on her channel, but there is, you can come to our Zoom session. I'll post a link on my community tab before we have that session. And she has her Twitter Holic channel, the Twitter Holic. where she goes over the things that are happening on Black Twitter. So if you want to just, not have to be keeping up with everything on Twitter, but you want to see what's going down and what people are laughing about, she talks about the lighthearted stuff. Then go and check out the Twitterholic too. Thank you for holding down the chat. Alethea and Nakaya was earlier. Thank you for that. My moderators, thank you all for coming, just for hanging out with us and for having fun with us, being silly with us, talking about these crazy women. And we'll see y'all hopefully next week. MrChalaki, you have a good night. Get you some rest. I'm going to feed these dogs and get me some rest
You too.
after I work for a little bit. So I got some work to do. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. And we just thank you all for coming and sharing this evening with us. We're an hour later than we planned to be. We did well last time, but not this time. But thank you, MrChalaki. I appreciate it. And don't forget, Real Housewives of Atlanta will be over there on his channel.
Yes, we gotta get everything situated, y'all.
We'll get it all set up. We'll get it all set up. So y'all just go in and click on the link now, so y'all can be over there when it all goes down. And go on and go over there anyway and just support his content, because he's putting content out there for the people. Okay. I appreciate you all. Thank y'all for keeping the conversation fun and light and hanging out with us. And with that, I guess I'll just give us some music and we'll get on up out of here.
Love y'all. Bye.